Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay. You made me flinch. I actually went and tested my shit. I was like, uh-oh. I ran to my Discord, went over to the voice section, clicked the button, test it, and went, testing, and it went, yes. I was like, okay.
I knew what to do this time. So
Okay. Whoever keeps playing with your computer, pressing hotkeys and buttons.
I think what happens is my Discord opens on my computer automatically, and I think it sets up a bunch
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any program at all start without my permission. I mean, mind you, there's a couple I can't stop. Overwolf, Windows Security, of course, my Ryzen software, all the stuff that's normal that I expect to start up with my computer because it helps run my computer.
Right.
Everything else, like my Steam, my internet browser, my Discord, of course, my Blizzard launcher when I was still talking to them.
Yeah, I probably should turn that off, honestly. But oh well.
Yeah, well.
So, yeah, you left off in the basement of this tower you found that the armored saber-toothed tiger that you chased out of Valaki came to, and
Not chased, escorted.
Escorted, yeah. But anyway, yeah, you spent the rest of that day hanging out, taking care of him a little bit after you guys got in a fight with some dire wolves and all. And yeah, you
I think I fed him like 3 rations by now.
yeah, and I believe you took a long rest too. If you didn't,
I did. If he's still hungry, I'm actually going to go ahead and toss him another 2.
All right, yeah, he goes in and he laps those rations up. Definitely.
Big kitty, big appetite.
Yeah, he was feeling parched after that battle the day before.
Metabolism and all that. Got to keep up on the energy.
Right.
So, point of reference, just so my brain is not going sideways on me. Up here is where I came down.
Yes, that's correct.
Right?
Yes, that's correct.
That way.
Yes. Yeah, that is correct. I would say you did search this place pretty well. You did go up this set over here, and that did not have any kind of like corridor leading up. It just seemed like a little cubby hole.
What, this right here?
Yes.
Okay, I actually didn't move my token over that way. But it looked like stairs, but I wasn't gonna press my luck.
Yeah, it was a part of the map I found. You know how that goes.
I mean, parts lead here, parts that lead there, parts that lead nowhere.
Exactly.
It's like, when you go to that website and you go generate me a random maze, it's gonna have dead ends in it. I guarantee you.
For sure. But yeah, you did find you some cool little weapons or some gear around here. So.
Oh, don't forget to add to the saber-toothed tiger's inventory 1 carved wood fish.
Correct. I will throw
that is part of his inventory. That's his.
Okay. I will get that thrown on there right now.
Every cat has their favorite toy. I think I just gave him his.
Right. Had that under his.
Oh, I didn't mean literally. I was being mildly sarcastic.
Well, I want to remember it.
You know, I mean, if he has an actual inventory, that's impressive. I mean, he's wearing armor. That's technically considered part of his inventory. But I was like, what's he gonna do? Take the fish and tuck it between a couple of his armor plates?
He's definitely carrying it with him. He enjoyed that toy very much.
Yeah, a little personal cat revenge. I understand this. Trust me.
Carved fish. Toy. Carved by. There we go. It's in there now.
And ironically, the song on my Pandora that just came on is "I Like to Move It, Move It."
So yeah, you finished your long rest with the tiger. Wakes up and kind of gives you a lick as he kind of snuggles back up and he's kind of just resting there. Wake up.
Well, he's had a long, like day and a half because before this he was in a small, cramped cage. I'm sure,
Mhm.
and that was unpleasant. So, what concerns me is why he wasn't here to begin with from the start. Why was he in the cage in fucking town where, there's obviously nobody properly looking after him? I mean, where was the guy that's posted outside the cat's cage to make sure the cat has everything he needs? I'm like, I'm sorry here. There are violations happening.
Yeah,
If PETA were involved, oh my gosh, they'd have pitchforks and torches going after the guy that owns this cat right now.
right. Yeah, you RC wasn't there for the whole ordeal. I think they did tell you that it belonged to a guy named Van Richten, but you don't know who this guy is, as far as you know. So, like, it could.
I think I don't think I was there for that. I because I remember running into the square and they said Tiger got loose, and I think we all ran to go see, but nobody said that. Oh, that's his tiger. They just like, oh shoot, get back from the tiger.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if. Yeah, I thought they mentioned that in passing. They might not have. So yeah, you might be correct on that.
All right. Well, the point is, in the basement of this tower, everything is copacetic now. Um, I'm a little wary in the fact that these torches are lit. Uh, are they enchanted torches by any chance?
Do you have any kind of like detect magic or anything like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Artificer.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I can ritually cast detect magic and be done with it.
Okay, yeah, you
Which,
do.
by the way, I would have actually done as part of my sweep.
Right. So, do you detect magic? It's not coming from the torches though. It's coming from up above you, uh, t-
Oh,
towards the south side of the tower.
okay. Well, I did not pick up uh, the the feat that allows you to remember everything, so I won't know exactly what is out in that particular direction. So I'll have to go look.
Okay.
Keen mind, that's what it was. My brain stopped for a moment. See, I don't have keen mind. I
All right.
personally do not possess it.
Fair enough. So yeah. What do you do?
Well, like you said, this over here was a cubby hole, so not actual stairs. The stairs out is up. And I still have the rest of the tower to double check on and the covered wagon. So,
Right.
if Kitty is content, though I am curious to try this experiment, I am actually going to head outside, but I'm going to stop right about here and do that thing that you do with cats, where like you start going around the corner slowly, 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 to see if they're like looking, you know,
So you
and
can
see
roll
if
a
they.
perception check, or
Oh dear.
yeah, he's definitely looking at you as you're heading out the stairs. He's still flipping around that little toy you gave him. He's kind of playing with it casually. He doesn't seem to mind too much. He seems pretty content staying here in his makeshift bed here.
I forgot to double check the hay. I saw some bones and stuff in it because that's what you said was in there.
Mhm.
But what was the quality of the hay? Was it like, fairly well used and fairly well soured?
It was definitely very, very much used. From things you've put together so far, you figured that this was probably his home before, uh, and it looks like he hasn't been here in quite some time. So it is definitely soured a bit.
Ah, yes. We fell asleep in a cat box. Good to know.
Exactly.
Ooh. I'll be honest with you. I actually personally in real life had the unfortunate experience of actually coming face to face with a real honest to God tiger,
Oh wow.
and they stink.
Oh, I imagine.
Let me tell you, their cage reeks like you cannot believe. I watched the MythBusters special where they tried to bust the myth on how to keep your cats out of your garden, and one of the myths they tested was using tiger poop around the edge of the garden to keep the cats out.
Huh.
And yeah, the people doing that were like almost ralphing because the smell was so strong.
I imagine that is definitely not a good smell.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
I
yeah.
can I can vouch for it. Honest. Gorgeous animal, terrifying to look at. Standing there in person, staring at that mother, I was going, woo, makes you reconsider for sure.
So yeah, you come out the cellar doors there. You're met with that old kind of torn down scaffolding across the west wall of the building as you come out.
Okay. Um, where'd you say the magic signal is coming from? Ish abouts, like from over here or from over here at the side of the tower.
So while you were inside, it was coming from the south wall, like that direction. How long does that last? I know it has a time.
10 minutes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So yeah, it's still all on the south side of the building. That is where you're detecting that magic from.
All right. Oh, I hate almost sneezes. Sorry, I immediately felt a sneeze coming on. I took my finger off the button. I'm like, no, no, I don't want to broadcast that. That's bad. And then the sneeze like got most of the way out, stopped, and went, nah, change my mind, crawled back in. Ouch! Hate those. Those are the worst. All right. Well, I'm going to visually inspect this scaffolding before I even attempt to think of trying to use it. So as I come around this way, how high up does the scaffolding go?
So the scaffolding is kind of climbs. It gets to about a height of 30 feet at the tallest. It kind of starts a little lower at the front of it towards the south side of the tower, and it kind of trails up along the side, but then it's just cut off abruptly above the cellar doors there. And the rest of it looks pretty dilapidated, and it doesn't look like it's good for use anymore.
I wouldn't imagine so. No. So are there any kind of like windows or anything along the scaffolding?
No, as far as you can tell, this is uh, at least this floor, the ground floor of the tower, is completely void of any kind of windows. The only thing you do recall seeing is the main door to get into there.
Right, right. We're in Curse of Strahd, people. Never trust the front door. Okay, so from ground level to 30 feet up, as far as the scaffolding goes, no windows, huh?
Correct.
That is suspicious.
You do see towers towards the other levels of the floors, though. They do reach pretty high up.
Huh. Alright. Well, let's continue my inspection. I'm adding that to my list, by the way. unsafe living condition. The list is just growing.
So you're as you come around that corner, your detect magic starts to kind of flare up, and you get a strong aura of magic all surrounding the whole entire wagon there in the front of the tower, as well as the door seems to have like a magical glyph that was invisible to the naked eye right on the front, and then it kind of spreads out across all the way up to the tower, the very top of the tower.
Wow. Okay then. So glyph on tower and then all of this.
Correct.
Pretty much. Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
Let me double check something. I think detect magic tells you what school of magic.
yes, conjuration magic for the wagon. As far as the tower, it is evocation magic.
Okay, so the wagon may actually be something that's been conjured, or something inside has been conjured, and the tower sounds like fucking fire going off if I go wrong, which sounds about right. Most magical glyphs go boom. Most. They're not fun. You click on glyph. I mean, it's like the magic equivalent of like, a rope looped with a tree.
Correct.
It's basically what it is. It's the magical equivalent of, but instead of going yoing, doing, 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 fuck, it's more like boink, boom, oh shit.
So you can go ahead and roll me a perception check if you'd like.
All right, let's roll better this time. No.
So, as you kind of come around the front of the tower, as you're kind of looking at the glyph there, you do see that the door has a symbol on it. That is what it looks.
My brain immediately screams key code lock. Huh.
So yeah, yeah, you're standing in front of the tower and between the tower and the wagon there. What do you do?
Well, I have several half-an ideas, but none of them particularly fabulously good.
Okay.
Since I'm not in a particular rush, I actually feel more inclined to walk up to the door, and then I'm going to spend 10 minutes to ritually cast Identify on the glyph so I can figure out the specific information behind it.
Okay.
Because just knowing the school is not enough. Sometimes you want more information like, oh yeah, no, this is the scream in your brain glyph, or this is the burn you alive glyph.
Okay. Yeah. You do that as for identify. Does that have like a range to it, or is it just one specific object?
Uh,
I think that might also have a range to it as
One object you must touch throughout the casting of the spell.
well. Okay.
But I know with glyphs that a lot of the times if you touch the glyph, you're effed.
For sure. So, as you're casting identify on it, and as a ritual, when you approach the tower door, you notice that the door is made of iron with no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol, a connected series of lines with eight stick figures set around it. Carved into the lintel above the door is a word, Kazan. Um, Yeah, you definitely can tell that the this glyph puts out two kinds of effects. One that seems to cover the whole tower is a some kind of drain effect. Um,
Probably makes anybody that tries to climb it tired, so they can't climb it. I can get behind that.
it's spell drain effect. I should specify spell drain.
Oh, so if you're trying to cast any spells upon the tower, it just goes nom 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 nom. That's it. Bye bye.
Exactly. As far as the where the evocation is coming from, specifically, uh, looks like there's a glyph of um,
Well, there's the stun, there's the scream in your brain, there's the burn you alive. So remember how many different glyphs there are. There's a few. There's a pretty long list.
yeah, there is a long list. So I don't know the exact name for it, but it's a glyph of warding, uh, and it does have a lightning. Uh, you notice from the words that it has to do with lightning.
Lightning, fun. Unfortunately, that already brings to mind a few ideas of some things I'd like to do. Unfortunately for them. um, Odd question.
Okay.
Are magnets a fairly common thing?
I would say probably not.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh, really? All right. I think I may have found a way to make some magnets. Mix a little technology, a little magic together, see what you get. Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Never know, never know. Alrighty. I don't feel like messing with the tower just at this moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that little handout though collapsed, and I'm gonna puzzle my brain over that one for a little bit. Uh, the tower seems more upon like a fortress than anything else. I'm betting the cart is the traveling implement. But you said that uh, there were like curtains and lights, like in the cart.
um. Yeah. So.
So it's more likely chance that, let's just say for the sake of argument, this guy had just been recently traveling and only just recently gotten back, which is why he hasn't fetched his cat yet. That he may still be in the cart, not in the tower yet. Eh.
So I will say you do recall, as this only happened yesterday, that the the tiger was actually locked in a wagon before. That's where it escaped from as well.
Okay, but was it a wagon like this one?
Uh, it was similar. I can actually show you a picture of what that wagon looked like. So this was a handout for the rest, but this is the wagon, the picture. Not gonna. So under your journals tab, you should have a section under the under your characters that says handouts, I believe.
Yep.
Under there, there's a handout that says Van Richten's treasure. Uh, that image is what the I mean, it didn't look intact when you seen it, but that was what the wagon looked like.
Um, I see tower, chapter 11, tower door. Uh,
Double check that and let me just go ahead and refresh my page.
Ah,
There you go.
minus the treasure, obviously. I'm sure they've already gotten their hands on that.
Correct.
Lucky them. Let's see. That is a pretty spiffy looking trailer. All
And
right.
this is the wagon that you see ahead of you.
Which, if it looks just like that with lights on and everything, I'm definitely walking up to that. I'll mess with the tower in a moment.
It doesn't have the lights on. That is just kind of a picture I found that would represent it. It actually has.
See, spoil my fun, why don't you?
I'm sorry, but yeah, it actually has red drapes hanging over the coffin shaped windows that are on it, and it is has a purple. You've seen that fresh coat of purple paint under the mud as well.
All right, well, I'm going to go up to the door, which, if that's the seat where the guy drives the thing from, the door should be here. So
Uh,
I'm going to.
Backwards actually. So
What? No, it's not.
this
Look,
is
look, 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 look. That, okay. This is where he puts his feet. This is where he sits. The two things that would come out here, where the horse would be right about here. The
uh
door is right here.
I suppose so, yeah. I was thinking those might be stairs, but you might be correct. Either way.
Don't tempt me. I know stuff like you don't know.
All right.
I'll let you in on a little known secret. I used to do reenactments. Now, when I say reenactments, I don't mean like Civil War, shoot 'em at bang bang, let's go do this pinnacle war scene from this era reenactment. No, we're talking. It's a kissing cousin to the Renaissance, let's put it that way. It's the 1800s fur trade era reenactment of what was referred to as a rendezvous, where the mountain men would come out of the mountains with all their furs, and the people would come up from the towns, and then there'd be this big, huge tent city where they'd trade all their goods back and forth. Like, oh, I need more candles, or I need more traps. Anyway, that's what I used to reenact. So, canvas tents and cook fires and the whole 9 yards. It was fun.
You got this. That's the reins, or the area for the rein. So
Yep, that's the driver location. That's fine. Yeah, which makes more sense because if you look really carefully right here, you see that? That's the
uh
smokestack for the internal fire. Little potbelly stove.
yeah, that looks like it.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. History lesson's over. I apologize.
Good.
I will knock on the door.
Okay. Um, so as you knock, you kind of hear the wagon like shift around a bit. It kind of rocks a little bit as you're stepping up and knocking on the door. But no one returns your knock.
Okay. Well, if nobody, returns the knock, I'll just do myself a personal favor because I don't like blowing up. I'll go ahead and spend 10 minutes to cast Identify, specifically on what kind of magic is on this thing, or what the magic is.
Okay. So as you do that, you learned that the conjuration magic on this summons the spell summons a pair of quasi real draft horses that are magically tethered to the wagon. Uh, the um
That is super efficient.
yeah the you learn that the command word drovash summons the horses, and you learn that they can be dismissed with the second command word arvesh.
Interesting. I will make note of that and keep it in mind.
Right.
But I have no intention of stealing this man's ride unless he decides to make it part of the compensation. But we shall see. Alright, so, let's see. Check the tower, check the cart. Knocked on the cart. Nothing. Let's finish the process. I will, regrettably, knock on the door of the tower.
All right. Yeah.
Not on the glyph, mind you. I knock on the door, not on the glyph.
Okay.
I want to live.
As you do that, you can make a dex save of DC 15 with disadvantage. You are made of metal.
Son of a bitch. Uh-oh. Why did I have to pick Warforged? You realize, ironically speaking, actually, Warforged aren't made entirely of metal. Warforged are actually a composite of wood, metal, what do I call it? Not metal wires. Shoot, I'll think of the word in a moment. Anyway, it's a little known fact, and I say it's a little known fact because in the original Eberron campaign setting, when you actually looked at the Warforged in the original 3rd edition book, they gave a description of the Warforged, and the reason that the Warforged can, like, say, for example, float, is because they're not solid honkin' metal. They're actually like a composite of like wood, brass, copper, steel. It's interesting, really, actually. There's a reason they're called living constructs. Sorry, I know too much. And I may have lost the Muthgoblin.
My mic was muted that whole time. I'm sorry.
Oops! Oh no! Oh, that is unfortunate. I was like, okay, I was thinking, it is at all remotely possible that as a parent, he suddenly had a kid emergency of, honey, the kid got into this! What?
That's kind of exactly what was going on. So, what I was saying was, the as you knocked on the door, you took the 22 points of lightning damage.
Half, because I spend a spell slot and cast absorb elements.
Okay.
So I take 11.
All right, and
Because I want to live.
so what happened is there's lightning that just came from the top of the tower and just completely enveloped the tower in lightning as it struck down right where you're standing and kind of spread in a burst about 10 feet, like a radius of 10 feet around you.
Well, I don't need to knock. I think he knows I'm here.
Right, and yeah, as that happens, you take the damage, and the lightning kind of just begins to fold back up into the tower.
Obviously not somebody who likes solicitors. Jehovah's Witnesses, stay away. I'd hate to see the Mormon that comes to this door. Sorry, multiple bad jokes. I apologize. That was very wrong. Okay, so yeah, that hurt. Um, well, I'm not just gonna break into the guy's house if this is his house. Mind you, like you said, the tower is a bit on the side.
Yeah.
But for all I know, that's just, you know, pretend. I mean, let's face it, you know, you want to have the nicest looking place around, everybody's going to try and break in. You want to have the crappiest looking place around, nobody's going to bother breaking in.
Exactly.
I know how this works, trust me. I got this figured out. Um, Odd question. Is there a gap under the door? Doesn't need to be a lot, only about a paper width.
So this door is made of iron and it's setting on like a stone foundation. So there is probably about a paper with gap under the door. Uh, yeah, and you see no visible handles or hinges.
Okay. Um, I'm going to write a short note, just stick under the door, uh, entitled Lawgiver Model R060C09, notifying occupant of infraction of uh, various laws in need of restitution and counsel. Please seek lawgiver model in basement.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you managed to slip that under the door. Yeah.
Yeah, that mildly hurt. Um, so, I am actually going to do something rather odd.
Okay.
I realize it's been a day, but unless the forests around here are really good at cleaning up after themselves, I actually want to go back to where we ran into those dire wolves. I want to see if there's any dire wolf left.
Okay.
Because my rations aren't going to last forever, and that's a big kitty. He's hungry.
Exactly. So let me where you're at on the map. Move the token. Wednesday's game.
All good.
Oh,
I believe they were right about here somewhere, weren't they?
yes, that is correct. They are. It's about a mile down the in the woods. As you uh, start heading off into the woods, you start to hear the thunder roll in, and it start to sprinkle a little bit, and the road starts getting quite muddy here. Um,
Let me double check a spell. I think I might be able to bypass that problem. No, it just says increased movement. Okay. I thought Longstrider may have allowed me to avoid potentially hazardous, environmentals. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Had to check. Had to check.
Worth a shot. And that map.
Like I said, technically it's been a day, but unless another pack of direwolves came along and found the dead pack of direwolves, went nom nom, there should still be some direwolf left.
So, yes. So, as you come back from the north, it's starting to get pretty foggy now, and the rain is starting to sprinkle overhead. Hear the thunder in the distance, but up ahead, you do see where you encountered the dire wolves. You see one corpse of one of the dire wolves. You remember there being three. You only see two, however, and they're the two that are remaining are very just wet and muddy, and the corpses are just being ravaged by a pack of ravens or that are just kind of feeding off of the remains of these two dead direwolves laying in the road.
There's plenty of good meat left on there, I'm sure. So yeah, no, RC's just going to take his pistol and just fire a shot over their ravens' heads to disperse them.
Yeah. You fire a shot, and it's almost as loud as the thunder cracking overhead as the storm is rolling in,
Only difference is a lot closer.
and exactly, and the ravens all kind of flock up into the air and disperse off into the rain out of view.
Well, I'm not a greedy sort because I don't think I can drag two back, but I'm just going to grab one body and just kind of backpack that mother off and just head back to the tower.
Yeah, you get the one that has looks like it has the most meat on it that's left, and yeah, you begin to head back. By the time you're making it back to the tower, the storm is starting to pick up, and it's beginning to pour rain now as you're heading back up the foot of the tower.
Okay. Any change between the tower and the cart?
Nope. There is one small change on the wagon. The mud is starting to kind of roll off the sides with the rain. It's starting to pour quite heavily now, and you see that fresh coat of purple paint just glistening in the rain as you approach back up to the tower.
Yeah, he thinks highly of himself. Royal purple. Good grief. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go ahead and keep bringing my wolf carcass back down into the tower. And come back down and see how Kitty's doing.
Yeah. So as you step down into the basement once again, you are met with the, the tiger is still standing in his little bedding area, and he is on his face is like almost on the ground, and his back legs are hiked up, and he's growling at the floor. And as you kind of approach closer, you notice that the toy you made him is lying on the ground, and he just grabs it with his two huge fangs and throws it up in the air, and it bounces off the ceiling and almost lands behind him before he catches it right before it hits the ground. And he's just wagging his tail.
Good thing I made that thing from a club. It's sturdy. They don't use just any kind of wood for a club. They use sturdy wood. So when I carve that thing into a fish, it's going to last a while. I'm happy. I'm satisfied with this. All right. So yeah, bring down my muddy wolf. I would have stayed up actually in the rain for like an extra, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so. Basically, just using my own body as like a wash rack to try and wash off some of the mud off the direwolf before I brought it down.
Okay, yeah, it cleaned up a little bit as the rain started to pick up.
Okay, good. Let's see. I need a good a spot as any. I'm gonna drag the wolf down here actually, where the dead chickens are, because I need it for two reasons. One, I need a I don't want to say taxidermy bench, but preparation bench. And second, I'm gonna need some wood here pretty soon, so it's gonna double my usage.
Very good.
So yeah, I'll just sprung knife out of my arm and start prepping the wolf.
Okay, and as you walk by the tiger, uh, it looks up at you with the wooden fish that you carved in his mouth, and he starts to sniff, kind of slowly makes his way down towards you, trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, as soon as I can get a decent piece of meat carved free, I'm gonna toss it back towards the cat.
Okay, you can roll a survival check.
I am not great at this. We will see how it goes. I don't think I have any spells to help me with this. I mean, some people do. I don't. I do have enhanced ability, but I do not have it prepared. That is unfortunate. Oh well. Okay. So straight it is. Come on, Will Wheaton dice. Okay, I'll take that. Considering so far my rolls have been
You managed to find one of the really meaty legs that's still pretty well intact, and you cut it right off, and you toss it behind you. It,
defer it first. I'm trying to collect the pelt.
okay, okay. If that's what you're going for, yeah, you can. Yeah, you start at the the mouth area, and you start to cut around and slice down the belly of this dire wolf. It's a little rough. There's been holes pecked into it from these ravens. It looks like they had definitely been feeding on it for a while. But you do manage to pull the pelt off. Well, if it's still got a little bit of meaty bits hanging from it, it probably needs cleaned up a little. But you do manage to get most of the pelt off in a good fashion.
Okay. Gonna save that for later. But yes, once the pelt's off, then I would cut free a leg and toss it to Kitty,
Yeah, you
because dried meat is not quite the same as fresh meat. And any cat will tell you fresh meat is the best meat.
right. So yeah, you chop that leg off and throw it behind you, and it just starts going to town on this leg.
All right. So while it's distracted with the leg, I will finish prepping the rest of the body, cutting it into its various pieces of you know, leg, arm, breast, chest, back. All the good meaty bits. Just picture like a Thanksgiving Day turkey, and I am carving it the fuck up.
Yes. Yeah, it takes you a little while to do, but you managed to get some good chunks of meat. They still have the bone in them and everything, but you do manage to get like a rib cage here, another leg there. You set the head up nicely. It's to the side, and
Somebody's gonna want a direwolf skull. I just know it.
could be, yeah.
All right. So once I got some good meaty bits, Tiger should be mostly satiated for now. I'm actually going to take uh, what's left of the crates, and I don't think there's any place in here specifically that's really got good ventilation. I was thinking if I started a small fire to smoke it, but I don't think that'll work.
Yeah, as you were looking around, you don't see any windows or anything like that to the outside. So it looks pretty sealed up in this chamber here.
I mean, in a basement, you can pretty much guarantee that it's going to go up and out the stairs, and away from us. Especially if I leave the door open to let a cross breeze blow, pull it out. It might get a little smoky in here, but not too bad. Just think of it like an oversized, like oven, basically. Towards the ground level you're fine, but towards the roof it's going to get a little.
Right. So yeah, where do you put this fire at exactly?
Well, at the moment, I'm just going to, assuming that the cage is unlocked.
Yes, the metal cage here. It is unlocked.
Okay. I'm actually going to open the cage and then hang the different hunks of meat from the bars, the roof bars. I don't know if to call them ceiling bars, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna assuming that takes some rope. I actually have my own rope because I'm not busting up that 150-foot length yet. Thank you very much. I'm keeping that.
Fair enough.
Yes, I have my own 50-foot of hemp rope. Probably shouldn't take no more than less than 10 feet to get all the pieces hung.
Yeah, you should be good with that. Probably about 5 feet.
Leaves me with about 45 feet left. I'm okay with that. That's good. Alright, so I get that all hung, and the barrels that there was water in.
Yes.
How many of them are empty?
You've seen about 7 of them there in the stack. It looked like there was a couple holes in some of them. It looks like at least it looks like about 2 of them was completely empty. One might have been like 3/4 of the way full, but the rest seemed pretty solid and in good condition.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take 2 out of the 3, and I'm actually going to walk them outside to just either side of the tower back door to get some rainwater.
Okay.
Because rainwater is about the freshest water you're going to get, unless we're talking like acid rain here, people. In which case, no water's good water. But this is Strahd land. God knows what kind of rain we got around here. For all we know, we look in there, we're going to see like miniature baby bats or something. I don't know. Don't get me started.
So as you put those 2 out there, the rain is coming down really hard now, and one of them starts to fill up pretty nicely. The other one, it collects a small puddle at the bottom, and then you just notice it's kind of hard to tell from all the rain going on, but somewhere in the bottom half of the barrel, it doesn't seem to be taking any more water in. It just seems to be leaking out somewhere around there.
Right, you did mention a couple of holes. Okay, yeah, I'll have to fix that. That's annoying. Got some bones and sticks around here. I should be able to make some makeshift cork plugs for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, sure, yeah, some like sticks or something, and I'll like plug the holes. Cut it off where it fits.
Yeah, you find an old rib cage within the bedding of the tiger, and it seems a little weather worn, and it's a little softened up now, and you managed to shove that up into the hole, get it plugged up.
Okay, and it starts filling.
Yeah.
Okay now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems like it's feeling just fine now.
Alrighty, so we got water. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna go take the 3rd barrel, and I'm actually gonna put that in the bottom of the cage of meat.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go get the 2 was chickens cages,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take dead chickens and all, and I'm just gonna brick that up and put that in the barrel.
Okay.
And let me check something on my list here. All right, so crossbow bolts are usually long metal shafts. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take about a half dozen of them. I'm going to form a kind of like think backyard grill. Basically, is what I'm doing. I'm making a backyard grill on the top of this barrel. Well, not quite on the top, actually. I'm actually kind of making it about like a fifth of the way down in the barrel. If you've ever seen a smoker,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, along with the metal rings that were holding the one barrel into place as you broke it down, you managed to rig it up to where you get a nice little grill going on. Crossbow bolts.
make sure to mark off any crossbow bolts I just used. Give me a second.
Okay.
For those that are watching and listening, I apologize for the technicalities of the in-depth detail of this stream. You may not have realized that you're watching the MacGyver stream, but apparently that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is what an artificer does, you know.
Yes and no. I mean, I wasn't intending to like come out as MacGyver, but I also wasn't intending on like stepping too deeply into the role of what I kind of built this character off of. Mostly because I keep thinking to myself, what would that guy have been like back in D&D? Would he have still been a hard ass, smoke cigarettes and shit nails kind of guy, or would he have been like, I need to make sure this works,
Yeah, you definitely would want to be in search of an ally. So in the means of trying to befriend this tiger, it's definitely something I think you would probably do.
All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, so the box that had the old tools, I'm going to break that up and put that in the bottom of the barrel. I'm actually going to carve a small window in the bottom of the barrel, just big enough for me to get in there.
Okay.
There should be enough floor that it should sit flat. If it doesn't, I can make a little carving and make sure it sits flat over the bars. Should be fine though. I just need enough for like air. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, you should be able to make a good little smoking cover for it.
Yeah. So the was chickens crates, they're going to go all broken up on the top of the barrel, and the was um, weapon training crate is the one that gets broken up and put in the bottom.
Okay.
And then pull device out A with device B. Click, 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 click. Spark, spark, fire.
Okay.
I'm not going to bother getting technical because you know what that is.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you spring to life a roaring fire at the bottom of this cage as you get all that in there and
Yep, the was chicken crates should begin to dry and smoke. Whatever the wood is made of should make for a nice seasoning flavor of the meats. I have set up this on purposely very close to or as close to the exit as I can get it to, so the smoke will go that way. Most of these underground chambers are usually slightly dome shaped. People don't realize that, so it should prevent toxic levels of smoke. But there will be some smoke coming out that door now, and I did say I left the door open
yeah. So
to help with ventilation.
the room that it's currently in, the cage, it begins to fill up pretty bad with the smoke, as this is where the fire is at. But it does kind of rise around as it collects on the doorway there, and rises up towards the ceiling of the bottom chamber here, and it slowly starts to make its way out and up the stairs there. It does seem to be moving a little slower than you think it normally would, as it is raining pretty heavily outside, probably keeping some of that draft down in the basement, but it is making its way outside.
Well, the smoke would have been a lot worse had I closed that door.
Right.
I'm sorry, but let's see. Enclosed space, door closed, no ventilation, smoke. Every firefighter will tell you this is a bad idea. Uh, so just as a precaution of just in case because shit goes wrong, um, one of the barrels that is still filled with water, I am actually going to pull over and set next to the cage.
Okay, very good idea.
Yes. Now, mind you, as that was chicken cage dries, all that blood from the corpse will begin to steam out. And the steam is actually hotter than the fire itself, believe it or not.
For sure.
And that should actually help steam the meat, because I'm actually doing what's called a steam smoke cook. If I could close up this room a little better, I would and really, really steam cook it, but that's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think there's at least one more crate that I remember being over here that also wasn't being used. So I'm going to pull that over and set that on the opposite side of the doorway of the water barrel to keep feeding the fire.
Okay.
And once that's all set up, I think it's time to play with Kitty.
All right. Yeah, you get the that space enclosed pretty well. It is starting to definitely fill up with smoke. It's like standing in that room would be like an unbearable amount of smoke in your face. But like I said, it is going up to the ceiling as it comes out of the room, and is a there is a thin layer of smoke across the entire chamber, but it's mostly heading out the doorway.
Good, perfect. All right. I am going to do the tiger a big favor. I am going to pick through the big old hay mess and try and see if I can collect as much of the bone as possible.
Okay, yeah, as he's pretty distracted with this dire wolf lug. He's cleaning that up pretty nicely, and yeah, you managed to you know pick through at least the large bones here. You do as you're picking through. You notice that there's a several rats that have made a home here as well that start to crawl out of the old hay here.
Resist the urge to shoot. Resist the urge to shoot. Very much want to shoot, rat. Oh, sorry. Was that my internal cat talking? Sorry. So yeah, I see a lot of like skulls with like antlers. That's good. That's good. Um, I would like to salvage as much antler as I can. I'm going to set that aside. And then, believe it or not, I'm actually going to grind down the rest of the bone into a bone powder.
Okay, yeah, one of the antlers looks like it's broken off, and the rest is bit pretty bad, so it is pretty worn. The other antler though seems to be pretty much intact. It is weaker since it has been aging here for a while. It looks like, but you do manage to get the other uh, antler taken off, and it's in pretty good condition. And
Add antler to my inventory.
it takes a while. There's a lot of big bones here, but it is a little weaker. It does take you about a good hour or so to grind down all the rest of the bone into a nice powder.
Okay, and about how many pounds of bone powder would you say I have?
Um, what kind of do you have, like a mortar and pestle or something like that?
Let me see. Hold on. I have a hammer that works really good, especially on a stone floor. Let's see. Did I not have my... Weird, I thought I had like a... Huh. As an artificer, I have Tinker Tools kind of built into myself. Or as a Warforged, I should say. Huh. Oh, here it is. Haha, sorry. That's right. Boom! Right tool for the job.
Right. Yeah, that'll work. So are you creating like the mortar and pestle, or are you doing something a little different here?
Mortar and pestle.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get a good, so you could probably fill up a sack, and it'd be a good 2 pound sack of bone here.
Okay. For those that are watching and are very confused as to what the hell am I doing, just remember, a large portion of bone is in fact calcium. Calcium is a very important ingredient in a lot of things.
Yeah, it could come in handy. I'm pretty sure
How many
bone
pounds did
dust
you say?
about 2 pounds worth. Do you have something you want to store it in, or are you just gonna kind of keep it around?
Let's see. Pretty sure I got something to put it in. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Maybe I don't. Really, I don't. Huh. Surprisingly, I do not actually. Well, how about that? Um, well, before I completely disassemble said box over here, I guess I can actually like salvage some of the materials from it and make a small box that I can put that powder in.
Okay. Uh,
Like the hinge and the latch and the couple of bands.
yeah, you said you had some like tinker tools built in, so you could probably like pull out a nail here, a nail there, rearrange it to make a small box.
Just needs to be big enough to hold apparently about 2 pounds of bone dust, so that's all good.
Yeah, you put that in there. It doesn't look like completely sealed. There's just a little bit of dust leaking out ever so slowly, but it is holding for the most part all of it in
That's fine. I can take a little mud later and kind of shove that in the cracks, and it should make a great little, grout.
for sure.
They were not expecting to join the home improvement channel. I apologize. This is what happens when I'm left to my own devices. This is why I never left alone. Always put me in a party. I know. This is my fault. This is my fault. This is my fault. I did this.
It's all good.
Only I would be capable of taking a single tower and one wagon and one path in a forest and turn it into its own little side campaign.
That's what I was hoping
Only
for.
I am capable of that. Alright. So collecting more ingredients. Tiger's still distracted. While the tiger's still distracted, I'm actually going to take the pike and I'm going to use it to, for lack of better words, fluff the hay pile.
Okay.
I'm trying to basically turn up the hay pile so that the really, really bad stuff on the top gets churned to the bottom, and maybe that like halfway good stuff in the middle gets churned to the top. You know what I mean?
Right. So yeah, as you construct the box together. You start putting the powder in, and the you hear the saber tooth get quiet for a little bit, and it just kind of is inhaling really weird. As you turn around, it's facing in the opposite direction, but it just lets a huge sneeze out and kind of blows a little bit of the hay across the floor. As
Yeah, I'm cleaning your cat box. Get over it.
yeah, and as you go over, you finish up the box, you put it away, and the start turning over the hay, and it's definitely like soiled underneath, like it's wet, and kind of gross. Uh, and as you're fluffing it up, you're turning it over, and you just see several rats scurrying about the floor.
No, that's not rats. That's snacks.
There you go. the
How else is the cat supposed to stay entertained? Live
well,
entertainment.
the tiger is pretty much cleaned off this leg, and all that remains is a bone now. Uh, as he sees you doing that, he goes over to kind of see what you're doing, and he starts seeing these rats scurrying across the floor, and he's just chasing them, putting his paws, and just chasing away at the rats.
See, didn't say I couldn't be good entertainment. Who says Metal Daddy is bad daddy? All right, so it wasn't the best joke. I apologize. I'll work on the better jokes.
Oh no, you're good. I'm sorry. I was typing in the stream chat.
Oh, okay. But you're ignoring me. I was like, I'm more important. Why are you typing in the stream chat? No, okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But yeah, it keeps playing with the rats as you finish up uh, churning over the hay there.
Okay. Um, when that's all done, I will repile that back in the middle after it's all nice and churned up because it's probably been easily spread out for quite a bit there.
Uh-huh.
So now he's got a nice fluffy bed. And then I'm going to take the vial of water basin scum that I collected. And I'm actually going to walk over to one of the torches and I'm going to start drying the scum. I'm going to turn that into a nice powder by the time I'm done.
Okay.
Right now it's just like a mossy moss-like scum.
Yep.
But as it starts drying, it's going to start like caking and drying. I'm going to keep turning that little vial until it's all nice and dried out.
Okay.
Then I'll conjure my little mortar pestle again and tap that out and turn it into a powder and put it back in the vial. So I'll have powdered basin scum.
But yeah, as you begin doing that, it probably takes about a good somewhere between 15 minutes and half an hour to completely dry it out. Uh, yeah, but you managed to dry it out and scrape it off into the vial again.
Okay, cool. Now would probably be about a good time to rotate the meat in the cage because there are better spots in the cage than other spots that need to be placed for the meat to cure properly.
Yeah. Do you have a tool you're gonna to try to do that with? Or
Are you concerned about my ability to breathe?
no, I'm just it is hot in there. I don't know how susceptible
Oh,
warfighters
well,
would be to
I
that.
don't eat, drink, or breathe, so smoke is actually not an issue for me.
Okay. Oh, I'm talking as far as the fire goes.
Oh, it's mostly okay. If you've ever walked into a sauna
Yeah.
or open up like a pot on the stove and all that steam comes out,
Yeah.
it's a bit, but unless it's like scalding steam, you're gonna be all right usually.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. You get the meat rearranged in there. Uh, you find one of the meats is cooking a little better than the others. You kind of move it towards the backside and put the rarer meats onto the hot spot.
People are learning all kinds of things in this channel right now. They're like, "Oh wow, this is how you smoke? Okay, cool. What's this guy doing with the pond scum? What's that for?" Just wait, people. Just wait.
Smoke at your own risk.
Mind you, I don't plan on making any cyanide on this channel, so you're fine. Don't worry. All right. So anyway, yeah. When I broke down the old chicken crates, there was a lot of metal left over, wasn't there? Like
uh,
the nails and the bands and the hinges and stuff.
yeah, you find a couple small hinges when you were breaking them down. Uh, as far as other metal in the cage, that was about. There might have been a latch on them. That's about all the metal that would have been on
Well, if I remember correctly, I've broken down, what was it? 2 chicken boxes, the crate that's going to get broken down to continue making the fire,
Okay.
and the old weapon training crate all got broken down. So that's quite a bit of metal. That's bands, that's nails, that's hinges.
Yeah, yeah. You definitely find some nails and all of that, and a couple bands off of the crate.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do, and bear with me, because while it doesn't sound like a lot of metal, we're talking about a couple pounds worth actually. And little known fact, the metal the blacksmiths use to make like nails, for example, is actually pretty poor metal. The quality of metal between what's made for a nail and what's made for like a horseshoe. Horseshoes are actually better in metal quality than a nail because the horseshoe has to last longer after all.
Mm.
Often nails were called pot metal because they were just a lot of impurities, let's put it that way, and often broken and sold in large batches.
Gotcha.
So not a good quality for nails. Hinges were usually a little better quality. Like I said, horseshoes were. The metal bands on like barrels usually were pretty good.
Hmm.
I mention this because I'm going to take all that metal. I'm going to conjure myself a smithing station, and I'm actually going to uh, melt down and start reforging all the metal.
Okay. So
So just to let you know what I'm aiming for, uh, I probably have like a couple of pounds of metal. I'm going to smelt it and smith it down to approximately about, let's just say ballpark, 2 pounds of metal. I'm going to make two 1 pound bars.
okay. So what spell is allowing you to conjure up one of these?
The right tool for the job.
Okay, so you're just
I
using
can
that one.
conjure any artisan tool kit that I don't already have. I have the tinker tool.
Okay. So you're just conjuring or casting that one again to
Yeah.
create it. Okay. So that I would say that would give you the all the tools you need. You do have the one fire occupied with the meat. You'd probably have to start another fire in there, so you'd probably take some of the wood that you currently have around to get one of those up. Um,
Where's the continual flame spell when you need it?
um, I would say it would probably take a good half an hour for that to melt down completely, and unless you were to I'm sure there'd be that little like foot pedal that blows the air into there to keep it hot, but that would probably burn up your wood a lot faster. And you are running a little low on wood to keep both fires running.
What I need is some charcoal, but I'd have to make charcoal first before I could use charcoal.
Mm.
Um, eh, sorry. My brain for half a second was just thinking to myself, what's these torches using for fuel? Are
Uh-huh.
they oil based? Are they, like wick based?
Yeah, it's kind of like a wick, like it's like this muddy, like flammable, like mud kind of. Uh,
Flammable mud. That is horrific. Don't you mean tar?
yeah, like
It's a
tar.
it's a
Yeah,
cousin of tar.
there you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Flammable mud. You scared me a moment. I cringed a little. I was like, oh God, what?
I meant like mud made
What
of
horrific
flammable
nightmare have I
stuff.
walked into?
Yeah, yeah, tar is a good word for
Before you
it.
start, before you start to think that I'm like some kind of engineering major, I'm going to let you know I almost failed my science class multiple times.
I went to Oklahoma school, so I'm totally on the opposite end of the spectrum there. So that tells
I
you.
know you're wrong. I did all right with science. I was pretty good at it. I wasn't great. I wasn't super, but I did all right. I did that thing that all kids do, and dissect the frogs. Show the parts. Only ours was a squid. and it was missing most of the parts, and we ended up cooking it later, stinking up the entire school. But that's another story.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, um, Kitty seems pretty preoccupied with bone and woodfish right now. Oh, sorry, my button may not have been down. Uh, Kitty seems pretty preoccupied with the bone and the woodfish.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna risk it also because I need to check on things outside. I'm gonna go outside and check on the barrels. How much rainwater have I picked up?
So yeah, it's coming down hard outside. They're definitely overflowing with water by now.
Okay, so I'm gonna dump a little out, put a lid on it, and then bring those downstairs so that now the cat has proper fresh water. I'm gonna put those actually go by the water basin
Okay.
so that I can more easily fill up his water basin with fresh proper water.
Okay. There we go.
Cool. Um, oh, I have a mess kit. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. So the wood on the top of the barrel has probably dried off completely now. I'm going to salvage that off the top, and I'm actually going to take the pan from my mess kit, put that on the top of the barrel, and fill it with water so it can keep steaming. Because
Okay.
that's going to run out of steam pretty frequently.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep that pan full from the water barrel I pulled over,
Okay.
uh, and the wood now dried from the was sopping bloody wet mess that the chicken boxes used to be
Hmm.
should be dry enough to actually start uh, doing something with. Um, so, believe it or not, blacksmiths frequently, if not often, actually have to make their own what's called coke. Now, don't get the wrong idea. Coke is just another name for a kind of charcoal.
Okay.
Uh, Basically, what you do is you kind of, it's not burning it so much as you're basically drying it so much to an overextent that it turns black and light charcoal.
Okay.
It's a really weird process. If you've actually ever watched somebody make charcoal briquettes, of course, the kind that you buy in the store has all these extra chemicals added to it, like tar and God knows what else, because they're meant to like go woof and light up like you wouldn't believe.
AKA flammable mud.
Right? Yes, exactly. Oh my God. Woo. That's why I always cringe a little bit when somebody says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna barbecue using charcoal briquette." Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you know what chemicals they're eating there? Ooh.
So yeah.
Give me a wood fire and a spit, and I will make you food that you will die from.
Yeah.
Not literally die from, but I'm talking like like you put some nice cedar wood on there and make a nice fire out of that, and cook something over that cedar wood. The flavor you cannot believe.
Right. But yeah,
The
you
things you
managed
learn when you do reenactments, I'm telling you.
you managed to get you some charcoal esque coals in there, and they're burning pretty hot now. It's pretty hot from all the wood you had burnt in there, so you got it going pretty nicely now.
Okay. So, with my wood now turned to briquette, I can use that to smith with. Now, believe it or not, um, a smith's, I pardon the word again, coke, which is the kind of briquette wood that's used.
Gotcha.
When you see the smith sit there and he takes the briquettes and puts them in that thing where he goes push, 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 and it goes woof, 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 and makes it all bright and hot.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't actually burn it. It does eventually. It's a very, very slow process. Like hours later, you'll actually see a fine, minute black ash, like really white powdered ash, come out the bottom
Gotcha.
of their smithing. But
Similar to coal.
right, yeah, it doesn't really burn. You know what I mean? Once you
Yeah.
get a fire going, and you just keep stepping on that little pedal to keep the air moving, you can get up to like temperatures you cannot believe. Let me tell you.
Right. Just smoldering away. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, once I put a crucible on that and I get it, step, burn, burn, burn. It'll start to cook that crucible pretty damn good. It's gonna melt any metal I put in there.
Yeah, for sure.
So I should have the ingredients I need more or less for the rest of the day because I really don't want to go outside and just start ripping limbs off trees because this is technically his property. I'm just salvaging his old leftovers right now.
Yep.
That is my entire purpose. I'm trying to just salvage stuff nobody wants.
Yep. Yeah.
As a wise man once say, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
True enough, when I jumped in a dumpster once and I actually found an old AD&D second edition uh, module, actually.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, complete with dice, original dice. We're talking like the dice that from rolling actually had the little white marks on it because it was made from that cheap plastic like back in the day.
Right. Sounds like a great
Oh
find.
yeah,
Uh,
that's where I first learned about a creature called a Thanaton.
huh.
So it's like a one half monkey, one half like lemur thing. It's really weird. They are cute though. They got little daggers wrapped in their tails, and they try and stab you as they glide across, and rawr! They have little treetop villages and everything.
Right.
They're like the tree version of a goblin, I guess.
Hmm.
Only a lot cuter.
Could be an interesting combat scenario.
Yeah, look them up sometime. I don't think you'll find them in the Ravenloft, unfortunately, but still,
Yeah.
if we happen into a jungle at some point, you might want to throw a small village of Thanatons in there.
There you
Maybe
go.
a little hunting party that we accidentally crossed. Oh no!
Right. Uh,
So anyway,
so yeah, you get the
yeah,
the smith up and running, and it's melting away. It takes about a good 15 minutes with these new uh, coke briquettes you made and are heating up to get it all the way melted down.
okay. After that, it's just heat, bang, heat, bang, heat, bang until I get myself two proper bars.
Yep, you get used two. We'll call them alloy ingots. Uh, that
Good
seems like
enough.
a
I will
fair
take it.
statement.
Like I said, 9 times out of 10, they're usually made out of pot metal. So I've probably got myself a like 90% iron, 5% steel, 2% copper. Yeah, it's a weird mix. We don't talk about it. Something
Gotcha.
like that. Yeah, it's not good, not great. Anyway, um, I'm gonna bet you these torches are wrapped with copper wire because I need a little copper wire. So I'm actually gonna salvage one of the torches in here and get some copper wire from it. I'm actually gonna keep the torch itself because that'll prove useful later. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the two bars. I'm gonna sit them next to each other and then wrap the copper wire around the two bars so that's kind of holding the two bars.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get that wire around there and seal them together pretty nice.
Perfect. Good. Uh, Hopefully the cat's not going to follow me for this. I'm going to actually head outside now. It's probably still raining, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's still coming down pretty good. Not quite as heavy as it was. It started off slightly, but it is still coming down.
Okay. Cat didn't follow me, right?
No, it's just chasing these rats around. You know
Ah, entertainment. I knew it. You know what my parents used to call that?
what's that?
CTV, cat TV.
There you go. Big cat TV.
Right? Exactly. Perfect. Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do with my two bars wrapped in the copper wires, I'm gonna walk them all the way up to the front of the tower. And now, having personally experienced what happens when you knock on said door, knowing that it is a target initial shot followed by a 10-foot spread, I'm going to stand back the 10 feet needed to be protected from it, and I'm actually going to toss those metal bars at the front door to activate the glyph.
Okay. You can roll a strength. Let's say like athletics check.
Go away, Will Wheaton. Yay!
Yeah, you lob that.
I'm not trying to break the door. I'm just trying to like zip, pink.
Yeah, yeah. You lob that chunk of metal in your hand. Hit the door square in the middle, and yeah,
Uh oh.
you see the lightning start to envelop the tower again, and it strikes down on that hunk of metal, and it just shoots off sparks, and that it blasts across the ground, and it stops right in front of you. Uh, you could see the charred marks on the ground from the last time this happened, so you were well aware of where you
Nice.
needed to stand. Uh,
And for those that don't know what happens, what I just did, so I just used the tower's defense against itself. Little known fact: when you run an electrical current through two bars of metal, you actually align the magnetic properties within those bars to create dun da da magnets.
yep, that'll make a magnet right there.
Yep, I have acquired magnets. This will be useful for later. You don't know how, people, but you will. All right, I will add magnets to my inventory. I'm sorry. To be precise, paired magnets. Paired magnets. All right, that is complete. Because I am a little concerned about running out of wood now that I've stolen some of the chicken crate wood that I was going to keep the smoking thing
Mhm.
smoking. I should probably check for a little more wood. I'm going to check around the tower, see if there's any kind of like more wood around.
Okay. Um. So,
Perception, I take it.
now you could probably just tell from where you're at. Are you looking for like
I was going
already
to say,
cut down wood?
yeah. I don't want to like I said, I don't want to start ripping limbs off trees, but I figure if I like investigate around, I could probably find some like lying around.
Okay. So, from where you're standing, you know that this island, you're kind of on a peninsula, I guess is what you'd call it here. Um.
Right. Yes. So I would actually have to go. Yeah, a
Yeah.
little ways, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going all the way back into the forest to get another direwolf corpse. That's a much longer walk.
Right. Yeah.
This is like a 10-minute jaunt.
Yeah. Walk across that little land bridge onto the mainland, and you come up to the tree line, and yeah, you can roll me a perception check. Go ahead and do that,
Damn it! I was hoping for investigation, but it's fine.
or investigation if you want. You're actively looking
I
for
am
it.
slightly better with investigation than perception. Slightly.
Yeah, go for it.
Aha!
Yeah, that'll do it. Uh, you see a clearing in the woods. It's pretty thick, and it's like there's a mist, a little fog kind of covering the through the trees, as it is like kind of steaming off the surface of the lake there and rolling into the woods. But you see a little foot trail that leads off into the woods, and you think you see some wood back there. Looks like it's usable.
Ugh, I smell trap. Alright, well, things I do for science. Just because I'm not really looking to get into a fight, I'm actually going to cast Long Strider to give myself an extra 10 feet of movement, and that'll last for an hour.
Okay.
Try to see if there's anything else that I can use. Oh, hey! What do you know? I actually have purified food and drink. Ha! That'll help me make sure that that meat stays good. That's good.
There you
Glad I just realized that I have that. Um, I also have the Skywrite spell, believe it or not. One of the most useless but most weirdly made spells ever.
go. Okay.
Um, for those that don't know what the Skywrite spell is, it allows you to look up into the sky and, as if you were a guy on the plane with a little smoke making a message, leave a message in the sky. It's
Okay.
an extremely weird fucking spell.
Hmm. That's interesting. Okay.
It does say that a strong wind can disperse the clouds and end the spell early, by the way. Oh, and it's concentration. Well, that sucks. I'd be so up for like leaving little messages in the sky. I am here. Leave an arrow. That'd be something.
That would be.
What?
Yeah. So the long strider, is that a concentration spell?
Nope. That's an hour buff.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're coming up onto this clearing into the woods there. Uh,
I'm going to prepare both pistols because death is not an option.
uh
And I had a half an idea, but I decided against it. Yeah, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. The rain has like settled back, right?
yeah, it's starting to quiet down now. The thunder has moved out. It's just slight. It's not quite a sprinkle yet, but it's just a regular amount of rainfall.
Okay. So soft petering of rain. So if I
Yeah.
pulled out a torch and lit it, it probably wouldn't extinguish it.
Um.
It would in time, but not like right away.
Yeah. Not immediately.
Okay. I am going to pull out a torch because I have a bunch of torches that I never use, which is weird because I don't have dark vision. So you'd think I use it a lot, right?
Yeah.
You'd think so. You would, but there's a reason my character doesn't adventure at night. So there you go. So he's going to pull out a torch and he's going to light it using his tinderbox or his device. We won't talk about the device, but he has it. And he's going to have his big mother effing gun and the torch in hand, and he's going to head towards the wood.
Okay. So yeah, as you head in there, you're looking around the trees. It looks like there's some kind of like maybe a broken down cart or barrel or crate or something like that up ahead.
Awesome. More ingredients. By the way, since this is kind of a moist forest, I am on the lookout for mushrooms. I have a use for those.
Okay. Um. Okay.
No, I'm not going for the super special psychedelic mushrooms, okay?
I got you.
You and your toad lickers can go away.
Yeah, you're kind of meandering through the forest there. You see that potential wood right up ahead here.
So, torch is up front, and gun is at the ready. The big
Gotcha.
one, not the little one. The big one.
Of course.
And I will approach the wood.
Okay.
How thick is the foliage, or do I have to follow the deer paths?
Um, it's pretty thick, but it's not too far away. Like, it's
So if I wanted to stay on the path and like straight shot it, whoa, that didn't work. Hold on, what happened there? I was drawing, and suddenly my drawing was like, nope. Let's try that again, maybe. Straight shot.
yeah, you can do that. Uh, as you head over there, oh, okay. As you head up and start to pass through the thinner foliage here, like it was kind of hard to see through the other side. From this side, you can totally see that this is a broken down wagon, and like it's been abandoned. And one thing you notice is as you step into the woods here, you see spider webs just all over the place. Coming from the tops of trees all the way down to the floor.
This is not RC's first rodeo. Uh, so you do not break spider webs. Do not. Instead, you burn them away so that no residual signals are left. Because
Perfect.
anybody that's ever played with a spiderweb in real life knows that you go pink on the tiniest little thread. It goes.
Yep.
My favorite scene is from The Hobbit when Bilbo goes to play with that one spiderweb string. He goes, and you watch the camera go. I'm like, oh well, that was a bad move.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a good point there.
So
Uh,
yeah, I don't cut or break or pass through any spider webs. That's why the torch was in hand first. I am burning every spider web as I come across as I go.
yeah, you
I'm
just got it
basically
out.
burning myself a path.
Yeah, you got it out in front of you, just sweeping ahead, just clearing out all these spider webs as you make it across. You can roll a perception check.
May the power of Will Wheaton be with me. Thank you, Will Wheaton.
Yeah, so you're you're walking through the trees here, kind of being careful where you step. You see ahead of you that you see this wagon has just been uh, demolished. There's still remnants of someone's stuff here, but you as you're looking around, kind of trying to see what you see, you also look up and the from this angle, the foliage is thin enough to really see through. Uh, Towards the back of from what you can see, you see this giant statue. You can't really make out what it is, but as you're looking at that statue, trying to figure out what's going on, you see uh, just a huge like insect creature uh, pass in front of or pass behind one of the trees quickly, and it kind of scurries off into the foliage.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not here for statues. I'm here for wood. I am going to burn a perimeter around the wood, free of spider webs. So, no alert signal gone out. They have no reason to know that they need to come. I don't care if they're big ones or small ones. I have no personal arachnophobia, and I doubt my character does either. But he's no idiot.
Gotcha.
Urban
So
bounty hunter. You don't think he's messed with spiders in his time?
right. So you said you're burning a circle around you.
Burning a perimeter around the wood I'm going to try and gather.
Okay. So as far as that goes, are you just trying to burn the foliage that's around, or are you like?
No, the spiderwebs themselves. So, for example, I
Okay.
realize it's just a map, but I'm going to use it as a reference until I'm told otherwise. This and this.
Gotcha.
I'm like I said, I'm burning myself around,
Gotcha.
making sure that any wood I pick up is free and clear of any and all spiderwebs.
Yeah, you've definitely cleared the perimeter by now around this. Start to hear little scurries around up in the trees. You hear the, the leaves bristle in one direction. You hear like a small screech in the other direction as you're clearing out all these spider webs.
Okay. Well, my character's going to do something weird. Bear with me.
Okay.
He grabs his. He takes the torch, kind of jams it into the ground in front of him, takes a knee, grabs his big gun. He pulls the hilt back, reaches down, picks something up from his hip, and like attaches it to his shoulder, and then takes his big gun and kind of clicks into place on his shoulder.
Okay.
For those of you that know the movie that I just referenced, I apologize, but fuck you, I did it anyway.
So, as far as I understand, you're taking your gun and you're attaching it to your shoulder.
If you didn't get the reference, I just did a Predator.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it sounded like. Uh,
Now, technically speaking, according to the original description of the Eldritch Cannon, I can direct it to shoot as an action once per turn. I think it's an action per turn. Close enough, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
And nothing says that the tiny version can't do it too, and I'm just taking that to my advantage, and I'm giving it a suitable location to do it from because I need both hands free when I do this.
fair enough. Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to sit on my shoulder for the moment until I want it in hand. And with
Okay.
the torch now just in front of me, I'm going to carefully rifle through this wood because, like I said, I know, I apologize. It's just a picture, but it looks like there's some interesting, cool shit in there,
Hmm.
and I want to have a look at it before I start just grabbing wood.
Okay. So, got a quick question, real quick. What's the dimensions of this gun, uh, roughly? Like, how large is it compared to like your hand?
Uh,
It's tiny could mean like very tiny, or like it is a
okay,
cannon.
so you know the gun that Robo uses, right? It's a big mother effing gun.
Right.
The thing's almost as long as his forearm, and the handle grip itself is easily as big as his hand.
Okay. So it's a pretty good size still.
But look at that gun and picture the pommel pulled back, shotgun style, and then at that pivot point, you attach a mounting bracket that allows for a full 360 movement, or, well, not quite full 360, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
So
picture that now attached to his shoulder.
okay.
It's big. It's the barrel itself is probably definitely sticking in front of his face by at least a good half a foot.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a good visual picture of what's going on
I mean,
exactly.
without a doubt. But like I said, this is. I get you. I get you. Do I need to post a picture of Predator? Do I?
No, I got the image of Predator in my mind. That's what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure. uh,
Okay. Well, trust me. Okay, there's no like up and down like neck thing, and there's no like it does it automatic. It's my instruction that makes it do it. So
mhm.
unless I like am mentally commanding it, turn right, turn left, turn up, turn down, you know, it's just me personally. I like the idea of just holding that mother effing thing rather than having it mounted or next to you because mentally commanding this something is not as fast as just fucking pointing it and shooting it.
Right, right. So Um, as you start to approach the wood, like I said, you're hearing commotion going on all around you. You've been down to, you're trying to take a quick note of what's most important to least important. Of course, as you said, that's kind of the thing you'd
Investigation
be looking
check.
for. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Cool. Also, not my first rodeo, and I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah. So, yeah, the first thing you notice right off the bat is a bright green backpack uh, sitting at the head of the uh, what remains of the cart, the main base of the cart. You see next to that a bedroll. Uh, other than that, you see papers scattered about, several other like mundane things like cups or like tankards and plates, things like that. Some blankets, things like that, all strewn about the ground here. But the main thing you see is that backpack and the bedroll, and then obviously the scraps of wood around you is what you're looking for. And
Right. Okay.
yeah, so yeah, what do you do?
Well, um, just I mean, a bedroll's a bedroll, but who knows what's rolled up in the bedroll? So I suppose, right?
Right.
I will actually take the backpack. I'm just gonna like, I can't necessarily per se throw it in my backpack, but I can like, you know, throw it over my shoulder, like I am,
Mm.
and the bedroll under an arm. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take several of the largest chunks, like the biggest, longest, flattest bed part. Well, you know what? Hold on. Might be easier if I just drew it. So like this piece here looks like a big, solid, nice chunk. I'm going to grab like the front end of that. So imagine that's my arms. I'm just grabbing that, and pieces like this, I'm just going to throw on the top. Just gonna basically, I'm making a sled basically, and I'm the horse.
Okay. So
I'm just throwing a bunch of pieces on, and I'm just gonna start trotting off.
okay. So as you begin to uh you grab the backpack and bedroll, and as you begin to kind of start to put stuff together, you laid them right on the ground in front of you. You start reaching down to grab the wheels and things like that, put them together, and you can roll initiative.
Oh dear. First rule of D&D: never split the party.
Exactamento.
I'm dead, people. I'm dead. That's all there is to it. So this is how RC goes out. Well, I wanted a new character, but this isn't how I wanted to do it. Kidding. I'm kidding. I'm tougher than I look, guys. I'll make it. Maybe.
So as
Oh dear.
you're reaching out to put together those two things, a spider leaps from the tree above you right directly down onto you, and
Oh, he rolled way better than me.
yeah, both got pretty good rolls on that one.
Well, wait. Why weren't you with me? Why didn't I take a short rest, get some hit points back before I came out here to do this? Damn it.
Yeah, probably it probably wouldn't have hurt. Um,
Serves me right. I should have just dealt with what I had.
okay, so yeah, it leaps down onto you, fully spread eagle coming down on you, and it grabs right onto your face and goes in for a bite. That's a 10 to hit.
Oh, that misses.
All
All
right.
he finds is unedible metal arm.
Yeah, you just throw your arm up and just block the bite coming down and kind of uh, skate it off to the side.
What's the matter? Got a metallic taste in your mouth? Ooh, not good, is it?
It just gives you a loud as screech as you do that, and right behind that, another spider comes out of a tree across and starts to run on the ground at you, and it goes in for a bite as well. That is a 24 to hit.
You are beginning to irritate me.
I had to throw that in because I haven't used it at all so far.
You're good. You're good. So that 24 to hit on that one.
24. Let me double check something. Nope. Even if I throw shield up, that would still hit me. So
Okay.
yeah.
So that's going to be 4 piercing and 15 poison.
There's no con save to the poison. Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. A con save, a DC 11 con save.
Ah.
That's
Ha ha
6.
ha.
Okay, so yeah, you'll take that is 6. Sorry, 7. 7 poison damage. Top of the 4 piercing.
Okay. Yikes! I need to pull up my calculator. I'm already lost. Don't worry, math genius. I am not.
And whenever you're good with that, RC, turn.
Okay, my turn. So the one that's kind of gnawing on my arm with the bad metal taste in his mouth, all he sees is a slight rear as a barrel on my shoulder turns and points at it.
Okay.
Son of a biscuit. Meanwhile, the one that actually got a bite on me, I'll quick draw the other one.
Okay.
I have no idea whether or not that hits.
So the 14 barely hits.
Oh, sweet. Wow! I got
Ouch.
wrecked. That's painful. That's painful. But it's hurt. A loud kawang just went off, and let me tell you, spiders and vibrations, big thing.
Right.
I just announced to them that I am not edible.
So yeah, is that it for you, RC?
Yeah, no, that's it.
Um,
Oh, actually, hold on. Let me double check something. I'm almost 100% positive it's nothing that I can use.
okay.
Yep, nope, never mind.
Okay.
The spell Absorb Elements actually absorbs a little lightning, so I might have been able to use that thrown in on my attack, but only lasts literally a round. So
Oh,
it was gone a long time ago. I just thought, oh, hey, cool, an extra like D6 of lightning damage to this 1 point of ridiculously sad damage. But no! It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
So as you blast the first one, it kind of screeches as it gets out of the way. The second one, seeing the opportunity, trying to bite again, but it gets blasted right in the face as you do that. But the 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 front leg takes a blunt of the damage. It it gets the very tip of its leg blown off. Uh,
If this spider lives, it'll have a story to tell its little 100 children. That's right. That's the day the metal man came to our forest and blew off my leg. Let this be a warning to all you children. Beware the metal man.
and the other spider is the bite he's attempting to make is a 16.
Oh, that's a miss.
Okay.
It also finds nothing but distasteful metal. Blah.
Okay. Then yeah, other spider is gonna go. That is a nat 1.
Does it impale itself on my pike? That is still strapped to my backpack.
Right. So it goes in for a bite. The first one, it can't get around your arm. It's just trying to like grab on and get around to you. The other one sees you struggling with this one. It goes in for a bite, and it comes around, and you just take your other hand and whack it as it's leaping up towards you, and it falls down on its
Call
back.
it what it is. Call it what it is. I pistol whipped it.
Yeah, you hit it with the butt of your gun, and it's laying flat on the ground on its back, and you have advantage on uh you you have
Melee. Yeah,
advantage
melee
on
attacks have advantage, I believe.
yeah, well, yeah, he's prone, but yeah, so either way, ranged weapon would have advantage on that.
You mean disadvantage,
Uh,
technically.
well, it would be a straight roll.
Ranged weapons have disadvantage to anything that's prone on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, well, my description for that is that they leave themselves open for an attack, so you just get advantage on your next
Ah!
attack. So yeah, you'd get advantage with melee anyways, but the range would be just a straight roll without the disadvantage.
Well, I do have a dagger, but I don't think a D4 will do as much as my 2D6. Thank you.
Correct. So yeah, that's what
I mean,
happened.
let's think about this. Advantage on advantage on a 1D4 or a straight attack chance at 2D6. The numbers say one way or the other, not the other.
So yeah, RC, it is your turn to go.
Okay. So the one that's on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and try and shoot that one with the Eldritch.
Okay.
Will Wheaton, why have you abandoned me?
Is that with advantage?
Oh.
Oh, that would be a straight roll. That's right.
I was gonna say what? I'm like,
Yeah.
did you change your mind?
No, I called it. You got that one. You're good.
Okay.
So yeah, you can roll the damage for that one.
Oh, he feels it. He feels it.
Yeah,
Not only is he on his back, but he just got pushed 5 feet away.
yeah, that one.
He's having a bad day.
You knock that one on its back. It's laying there screeching around, and you come in with your cannon and you blast that thing, and it just splatters all across the ground.
Ah, that one will not be telling its children about the bad day it had.
Yeah, and it's still your turn, RC.
In which case, I will turn my other pistol on the other one, and will Wheaton be praised? Better. I will take 3 compared to the 1. That is much better. There's a sawed-off shotgun you need it, or a giant can of Raid. Aha! That's what I'll do. I'll invent a giant can of Raid.
Yeah, that one. You come around with your other pistol and blast that one again, and it takes 3 points of.
By the way, point of note that I should make sure to let you know, the pistol, by the way, is considered a magical weapon. I do have the Artificer Infusion, which is the... Where is it? Enhanced weapon, so it technically counts as a +1 magical weapon. Isn't that cool? So actually, technically, that 2 would have that 1 would have been a 2, and the 3 is actually a 4 because it is a +1 to damage and attack.
Okay, so is
I
that
don't know why that.
is the other pistol like a actual like physical item, or is that a conjured magic weapon as well?
The Eldritch Cannon is, well, an Eldritch Cannon, kind of like it sounds. Anything with the word
Yeah.
Eldritch in it, you know it's going to be like, it is, in fact, magical. I mean, the fact that it actually says, like, points of force damage, you know it's magical.
Right. No, I'm talking about the other
And,
pistol.
the revolver.
Yeah.
Because I have infused it with the enhanced weapon infusion, it technically counts as a magical weapon.
Okay, so is that a spell or something for that?
It's an infusion, artificer infusion. I actually have I have enhanced defense and enhanced weapon. I have repeating shot, and then for my magic item infusions, I have goggles of night. Because as an artificer of my level, I have 4 infusions, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, I have 4 infusions that I know, but only 2 that I can use at a time. Hence why I have the improved defense and the improved damage on the gun. So
Gotcha.
the reason my AC is 19 instead of 18 right now is because of that enhanced defense. It's called I Want to Live armor.
Okay, so yeah, that gives you the that's the repeating shot
Yes.
enhancement, right? Okay. Okay, I got you. I just wanted to make
Wait,
sure. I haven't.
hold on. Maybe I do. Oh. Just sorry. You're right. My apologies. Nope. Ignore the enhanced weapon. That was a misclick. I meant to click on repeating shot.
Okay.
I think repeating shot does still make it technically count as magical, though.
It does. It's pretty much the same thing. It grants a
Yep.
+1
Yep.
bonus to attack.
+1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. So like I said, that 1 damage should have been a 2, and the 3 should have been a 4. So if it's
Gotcha.
still all on the same creature, it's actually taking 2 points more damage than it actually has. So yay!
Yeah. So
I don't play artificers a lot. Can't you tell?
yeah, I've never played with an artificer, so I'm trying to learn too. That's why I wanted to clarify.
I will let you know right now. I had not planned on MacGyvering so damn hard on this character. It's just I saw an opportunity, and I should apologize. I've been watching the Doctor Stone series.
Oh, you're
It's
good.
an anime about a guy who wakes up in a world 1,000 years later and has to like reinvent science.
Oh, that's cool.
It is. If you have not watched the Doctor Stone anime yet, I actually recommend it. At the moment, I don't think there is an English dub version. There is an English sub version, which I have been watching.
Well, I'm sub all the way.
And well, see.
So
I'm a dub person. My brain does not let me read fast enough to watch sub really, so I have to like pay like a lot of attention.
yeah, I hit.
But it also reminds me a little bit of the game Ark Survival Evolved,
Oh, I like
because
that
you're
game.
like literally going from like Stone Age to like Modern Age in Ark, and that's kind of what he does in the Doctor Stone anime.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I love Ark. That's a super fun game. Uh, so uh, so the spider, it is bloodied. Um, the
Is it reconsidering its life decisions right now?
it's thinking about it. Yeah, so you just hit with the second blast, your second pistol, the repeating shot. That took the
Which, by the way,
damage.
I have been keeping track of my ammunition, and I haven't used any yet. That's
Yeah.
why I've been using the repeating shot, is because I don't know how scarce black powder is. I'm not going to use any unless I have to.
So as far as I know from what it's saying in the description is that it makes its own ammunition.
Makes its own ammunition. The bullet, once it leaves the gun and does its damage, disappears, so it doesn't stay. But that's fine, you know.
Yeah.
I don't need to leave evidence laying around that I was there. What? Are you kidding me?
Right. So yeah, it took the damage from that, and I took that extra damage off. Was there anything else for you, RC?
No, that was my action and bonus action for sure.
Okay. So it's gonna come back in with another bite. That's a 16 to hit again. That's gonna miss.
Yep, all he finds is distasteful metal. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's
If you ever sucked on a penny, everybody regrets it. Everybody's tried it and everybody regrets it.
so it came in for leaped on you to attack. You blocked it off, and it kind of recovers itself, and it doesn't like actually move out of your space, but it's kind of just backing down into like a defensive position now. Uh, as it's your turn.
You have made a unwise decision.
Eldritch Pistol on his shoulder lowers at the creature.
Okay.
Oh,
That'll
good.
hit.
Thank you, Wowin! He is my new Eldritch God right now.
Six. Oh,
6 points force and push back 5 feet.
okay. He is not looking good, and he is pushed back into the tree line there.
Where are you going? You're not allowed to leave. Pistol.
Okay. That'll do it.
Will Wheaton says you don't get to leave.
Yep, that takes it out. It is laying on the ground as you blast that one. It kind of is pushed back. It's kind of sitting up at the
Call it what it
position.
is. It's a true anime motion where, like, I take the Eldritch Cannon, I blast it back, it goes flying back 5 feet, and as it's in the air, I just pull my other pistol and go, it's over. Bang!
For sure, yeah. It gets splattered against the tree that you were throwing it back into as you shoot that second round into it.
Well, since it was nice enough to provide me with more bodies, everybody knows that spiders, at least to any small degree, from your largest spider down to your smallest spider, actually have a little bit of venom.
Mhm.
Since I have a vial that is currently empty, I'm going to attempt to salvage a little bit of venom from them.
Okay, you can. Are you using a small vial? You said like one of those.
Yes,
Okay.
I have one empty small vial left.
Okay, so you can go ahead and roll me a survival check.
I've got to stop doing checks I'm not proficient in.
So yeah, you go to the fangs that are laying there. These things have been just kind of splattered. You find the remnants of their what was their heads, and you try to get some venom out of there. You get like maybe a couple drops in there before you just realize you're not going to be able to get any more out of this mess.
Yeah. All I've got myself is a bunch of mess, really. Alright. Well, I'm going to take a couple of legs and the largest part of the carcass of. Well, like I said, I've fairly splattered both, but I'm going to take the legs and the carcass of both, as much of them as I can find, and I'm going to throw it onto the pile, and I'm just going to haul that all back.
Okay. Yeah, you've managed to find like a fang, and that you try to get the poison off of, and the
Oh, no, actual spider carcass. I'm taking spider carcass.
okay, it's kind of been splattered about the ground, so it's like
Spider carapace is actually fairly close to carotene, and if you know, anybody knows what carotene is actually like fingernails.
right. Yeah, you find little husks, like pieces of husk around, and you toss it up onto the cart. You can roll me a. Let's see what that would.
You want a strength check for me to pull it, or a tinker check for me to put 2 wheels back on this thing long enough to wheel it back?
Yeah, I'm thinking like a something along those lines.
Okay, I'll make a tinker check then. Help you out and let the dice decide. Oh,
That'll work.
it's not my worst job. I mean,
Yep.
we're talking about 2 wheels.
Yeah, you're trying to slap together a little bit of a makeshift cart you can pull behind you. You managed to slap them on there. They're definitely wobbling pretty good though.
Oh yeah, well I don't need it for a long trip. It's only gonna make it 10 minutes.
So what all are you throwing on to this cart so far?
Backpack, bedroll, the extra wheel that I'm not using out of the 2 wheels, as much of the 2 spider corpses as I could salvage, and whatever extra wood that I can pile on that I think I can pull without killing myself.
Okay, so you figure you could probably get 3 or 4 good chunks of wood along with everything else on there, without it completely falling apart.
That's good enough. I'm not greedy.
Okay. And yeah, so yeah, where do you head now with all this stuff? Back to the
Back to
tower?
the tower. Yeah, back to the
All
tower.
right.
For the moment, that is my base of operations.
Okay.
And until I have finished befriending this cat, it is where I'm going to keep going.
I'm gonna have you make a
Athletics check to pull it all the way there.
I'm gonna have yeah, you can go athletics. Yeah.
I thought so. Okay. Oof, I'm a little tired, which is fair. It's fair.
Yeah,
Fighting spiders, the whole way there and back. Yeah, fair.
yeah, it's wore you out a little bit. You start to notice that you're pulling it along, but about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, you start kind of having to tug it as you're just like kind of getting worn out, and you can just roll me a straight d20. Okay, yeah,
Hey, movie.
as you're chugging it along, it hits a rock and it looks like it's gonna like just crash and burn onto the road. But as it hits the rock, it just kind of ramps off and lands back onto the mud. And it's luckily it just rained and it kind of soaked up the impact a little bit and kind of keep chugging along. And you make it back up to the base of the tower there with your
Very cool.
wagon of supplies.
Call it what it is. Cart of horrors. It's a
Yeah.
cart of horrors.
There you go.
Spider guts and bits and whatever else not. God help anybody that comes along to see that. Oh, what is that?
Yes. Yeah.
That is like nightmare fuel for sure. I mean, here's my character, like spider gut covered, hauling like this huge tent pole off his one side, and his gun just like beep 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 beep, just looking around on his shoulder, and cart of like spider bits.
Yep. Yeah. You definitely.
Please tell me you're not gonna go make pies with that. That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Hopefully not. But yeah, you make it back to the tower. What do you do?
I'm gonna haul all my goodies down into the basement.
Okay, so you assume the cart's probably not going to.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna try and like
Yeah.
a cart downstairs kind of deal. No, we're talking like this is a full like on disassemble and bring down pieces and parts.
Yeah, I got you. So I'm gonna just make you a
Trump.
quick token down here for that.
I'm making you pull out all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh, you're good. You're good. That's what makes it fun.
Exercise for the DM's fingers. If I give him a hand cramp, that means I win, right?
So I'm just gonna place this token here down for that. That's just a pile of your cart of horrors collection.
I love it.
You get it down there. Yeah. What do you do?
So, when I get down there, first most major, most important question: how's the cat?
Cat's chilling. It's gotten itself worn out chasing those rats around. They look like they've all kind of disappeared now, and it's just completely passed out in the middle of this hay pile here that you just freshly fluffed up for
Aww, sleepy kitty.
him.
Where's a portrait taker when you need one? Get it? Picture portrait taker. Picture it. Yeah. Okay, so before I start digging into my cart of horrors, first thing I do is I go check on my meat pile, rotate, add some wood,
Yeah.
because I still have a pretty good chunk of this box left to keep that going. Add some more water to the pan, keep it steaming.
Yeah. You're looking at the meat. It's cooking up pretty nicely. Like it's gonna be some.
Never had direwolf steak, but yeah, could be interesting.
Oh yeah.
But since I don't eat, I'll give you guess who this is for.
Yeah, it's for the tiger, 100%.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And now that I realize I have the purified food and drink, I'm going to go ahead and do myself a favor and take the 10 minutes to cast Purified Food and Drink to purify the meat and the water that I've been steaming it with, just to make sure that everything is copacetic.
For sure. As you're sprinkling on some water to get it steaming nice, you're casting the spell, and that water just soaks into the meat, and it's starting to smell super good. If you could smell, I don't know if a Warforged can actually smell.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, if a Warforged can be affected by the stinking cloud spell, I'm pretty sure they can smell.
There you go. Yeah, it smells. If you almost want to take a bite, just knowing that you can't really enjoy the feeling of being full, just to have that taste. Because I assume if they can smell, they can taste.
I mean, I could throw in the joke where I used to be a man and I miss the taste of real food, but we're not going to go down that road. We're not going to go down that road.
Okay.
That is leaning way too hard into what I was joking of on this character. He's a Warforged, people. Get over it. Alright, so cat is satisfied, meat's still going, I'm happy. Now that like I said, I the player, my character knew the whole time we had this spell. I the player totally freaking forgot. I'm now going to take this opportunity to come over to the 2 barrels of rainwater and the basin and repeat process to purify food and drink to purify the water and the 2 barrels, just to make sure that they're extra crispy clean.
Fair enough. Yep, you get that all done.
Okay. Now, finally, at long last, we can go through the card of horrors and see what I got.
All right, so you pick up the bag first. You're going through, tossing some stuff out. First thing you notice is a vial of acid laying inside the bag, along with a set of clothes, just common, regular old clothes. You find
Likely the unfortunate traveler that owned this bag was taken by the spiders, is my character's immediate assumption.
Yeah.
And considering how badly the cart looked when I got to it, and how long it had probably been sitting there, that person is probably long gone and very dead.
For sure. You
Unless
also,
I want to try and rescue a mummy.
you also find an hourglass and a lute. And
Oh, somebody ate a bard. Well, the world has been had justice
and that's it for the bag.
I'll bet you know what happened. The bard tried to sleep with the spider, and he got eaten for his trouble.
You actually find a note in there as well, like a rolled up piece of parchment. But as you open it, the rain has just got to the wording on it. And it's just a runny splotch of ink on the note.
Okay, I will cast Mending. It should repair some, but not all of that. Whatever ink has been lost, I cannot replace, but the paper and whatever wording I can reconstruct should be okay.
Okay.
Mending's a bit of a weird spell, but it's a good spell. People who don't know about the Mending spell should really give it a second consideration. Despite the fact that it is a 1-minute cast time, the fact that you can repair shit with it is actually pretty damn critical.
I think, too, I'm not 100% positive on this, but I think Mending can work as healing for a
Warforged?
Warforged, yeah.
I
believe.
See, okay, back in 3rd edition with the original publishing of Iberon and the Warforged, Mending could actually do that. That's only because Warforged were considered living constructs, not living bodies, and they actually had their own set of spells. People don't realize this back in 3rd edition. There's an entire set of spells called Minor Repair, Repair, Light Repair, Heavy Repair, which is basically the Warforged versions of Minor Cure Wounds, Light Cure Wounds, Heavy Cure Wounds, which later in 5th edition got turned into just Cure Wounds. And with the republishing of the Abraham campaign setting, they decided the Warforged didn't need to have their own set of spells, and that they were living constructs enough that a cure wounds would, simply because it is a positive healing energy, would work on them.
Huh.
Little history lesson. I apologize. I'm sorry. Uber nerd over here.
You're good. So yeah, you start to get the words start to go back into place as they were. Uh, there's a few words missing, but most of it's still there. It was just all kind of splotched out on the paper. Do you speak gnome?
Nope. I speak common and undercommon. But let me check. I think. Hold on, because there is people who don't look at the player's handbook often enough really should look at it a little more carefully. There are some languages that actually share an alphabet.
Okay.
There's actually some, what is it, Draconic that shares alphabet with Demonic or something like that. It's super weird. So let me double check that. I'm going to look at...
It's actually called NIM. GNIM is the language. It adapted the Deathic alphabet.
Yeah, so I speak common and undercommon. Undercommon actually uses Elvish script, so unfortunately I do not have a script subtype to help cross-translate this, unfortunately. So I have no idea what it says at the moment.
Yeah, it's
and I don't think...
Yeah,
I don't think I have Comprehend Languages as a spell, so that'll have to wait.
Okay.
But I know it's Gnomish, despite the fact that I don't speak it, right?
Yeah, it's actually the language it's written in is called Deathic, and it's actually a Dwarvish language. So it would just be Dwarvish.
Okay.
I did not know that. I learned that today.
Well, I mean, like I said, if you look in the player's handbook, right before it talks about the different backgrounds, it actually shows you, like, okay, these are the common languages, these are the exotic languages, and in that little spot right there, it tells you the kind of people that commonly speak this language, and then just after that, it tells you the alphabet script that language uses. Like I said, Undercommon is actually uses the Elvish alphabet script for its language. So even if you don't speak Undercommon, if you speak Elvish, you might be able to write a note in Elvish and show it to somebody that speaks Undercommon, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay." So even if you can't talk to them, you can like write to them. So
For sure.
not that most DMs really go into that kind of detail of like that far in, because like I said, not many people realize that that's a possibility. That, you know, even if you don't speak the language, you can like cross communicate through other languages that you can kind of like, you know, subtext under to.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I didn't really think about the language, sharing like that. So I'll try to keep that in mind in my games. That adds a little bit more of a dynamic to it.
Yeah, well, hey, you know, language doesn't come up too often, but
Yeah,
you know, when it does, it can be interesting.
yeah.
Then of course you have the wizard that sits there and goes comprehend languages and says fuck all that shit, and you're like, oh well, fine.
So, other than that, you are searching through. You open up the bedroll. Of course, as you suspected, you found something in there. Uh, it's a rod, and it has a button on it.
All right, I will take 10 minutes to ritually cast Identify, just because, you know, you never know.
Yeah, it's that is a movable rod.
Oh, that could be handy.
Oh yeah.
For those that don't know, you get a pair of immovable rods, and you will never need a ladder ever again.
Exactly.
You just take a pair of those, and like the guy that sits there with that if you ever watch the Green Arrow TV series, when he sits there and takes that bar and he goes up each clattering on that rack, kind of like that. Only instead of like killing yourself, trying to like uber strength yourself up there, you just kind of reach up and go rod, click, reach up, other rod, click, pull up. Super easy. All right, let me go to the items section here so I can add that to my list.
Writing a quick note about what the letter says.
Don't give it to me. I have no idea what it says.
Oh no, I'm just writing it down just in case you figure
Find
out
a way to
later.
translate it? Yeah. Okay. Where's that metagaming pigeon that knows how to speak this? No, kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see. Ring, robe, rod. Rod of alertness. Rod of lordly rulership, security, climbing. Nope, that's rope climbing. Where the what? Oh, you know what? It's probably under I's, not R's. Duh. I was freaking out, thinking I was losing my mind. I'm like, why is it not here? I love those little moments where you question your sanity for no apparent reason other than you just can't find something. Ah, there it is, immovable rod. Me, the dents that couldn't find, and now I have. Alrighty then.
So
immovable rod. Spiffy.
okay, so yeah, are you good to go on that stuff?
I will hang the bedroll up to dry, and I will set the wood from the cart that I've collected also up to dry. The parts of the cart that are metal, like the wheels, for example, I'm not going to take the two wheels apart. I have a plan for those. I need those.
Okay.
But yeah, all of that shit needs to dry first. So I'm just going to set that all up to dry at the moment.
Okay.
Let's see. Cart drying good. Wheels good. Bedroll. Backpack. Yeah, it's all good. I think I'm going to take a short rest and get some hit points back.
Alrighty.
No, actually, what? Let's splurge a little bit. Let's do a cure wounds first.
Okay.
Wow. The rolls not be with me.
So
That was a second level spell slot. That is so not worth it.
not at all. So I will tell you that as the rain had started to clear up on your way back, you notice that it's roughly just a little bit afternoon, like maybe 1 or 2 afternoon right now.
Oh, I've used up half a day. That's pretty good. Alright, so I figured out I have a plan to use some of my materials. I'm actually going to take the pike and I'm going to take the net. And usually a net has like... I don't know how else to describe this. The net is usually shaped like a cone with a rope coming off the top of the cone, which is how you usually, pull something and capture them properly in the net. And then around the bottom of the cone, it's usually weighted.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the pike right at the point of the cone of the net. I'm actually going to attach that about 1/3 of the way down the pike. And then I'm going to spiral wrap the net around the last top third of the pike. Basically, what I've created is a pike net.
Yep.
So I can actually thrust that forward at somebody and catch them in that net, now with a pointy pike pointed at them.
Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna have you roll me a survival check to see how good you are at rolling or tying knots.
Oh dear, what? Huh? Oh no. I was hoping for a tinker tool check. Why are you cursing me? You know survival doesn't work with me.
I feel like that's pretty survival-esque. Climbing mountains.
Oh, you hate me, I knew it. I am proficient in thieves' tools, tinker tools, woodcarvers, smith tools, and the alchemy set, just because you never know.
I'll tell you
And you're
what.
cursing me with survival.
If you, how are you attaching it there? Because if it's like a knot or something like that, if you're just tying it on, I would say that's probably a survival check. You can think of a different way to attach that on there and secure it pretty well.
I was kind of thinking like, I'm pretty sure the wire that I used to tie the two bars together, if it didn't get completely cooked and partially melted onto the bars, I could probably salvage that. If it is too cooked to be used, I'd actually probably salvage another torch and use some more wire from that.
Okay.
Wire is always stronger than like a rope, and a rope can get tricky. Ropes can slip. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, okay. Um, so which torches have you taken so far?
Let's see here. Well, that one is completely useless, as I recall, because it's not doing anything. Let me double check. That's still got a lot of good stuff in it. That I've pretty much cleaned out. So, yeah, that one probably.
Okay. So there's probably not a whole lot of wire in there. Probably enough to definitely get it on there. I'd say you're about 75% sure that that would probably hold
Okay.
just fine.
By the way, the torches after I've taken them apart for the wire,
Mm,
uh, they go into the pile to be used to continue to steam the meat.
okay. All right.
I need to make sure that I write down that I have a pike net. Pike net. Pike net. Where is it? Alright, pike net. I'm happy. Alright, so the blowgun, by the way, I had a question about that.
Okay.
What materials is the blowgun made out of? Is it a metal pipe, wood pipe?
It's probably a wood pipe.
Wood pipe. Okay, so not terribly going to be as helpful as I was hoping for, but it's okay. That's okay. Um, just for the sake of temporary purposes, because I don't have anything else to put it on at the moment, I'm actually going to spend some time to turn the blowgun into my arcane firearm.
Okay.
So what people don't know about the arcane firearm is you can use it as a spell focus. Whenever you cast one of your damaging spells, you can add an extra damage dice to the damaging spell. So
Okay.
I don't necessarily have an intention of using it as a blowgun so much as an arcane focus for my damaging spells should I decide to use them.
Okay.
So I will make sure I mark that the blowgun is now my arcane firearm.
So that takes away from your. Does that take away from your cannon or your pistol?
Oh, neither. It
Neither.
is its own separate thing.
Okay. So that is
Yeah.
that a enhancement like you were talking about?
Yes and no. It's hard to be specific about it. Basically, it's like the equivalent of I can take any common level magic item, or I'm sorry, not common level magic item. My apologies. Common mundane item, such as a staff or a rod. Basically, I could pull off a metal bar off the cage, and I can inscribe these arcane runes on it and turn it into an arcane firearm. It's basically just a arcane focus, basically. Artificers just have basically the ability to turn any mundane item into an arcane focus for their spells.
Okay. So, as as far as damage purposes go for that, from how I'm reading it, that would cast or that would take effect on to the. You said the blowgun, right? The
Right, so basically I would wave the blowgun at somebody, casting whatever spell it is I'm casting. Let's say, for example, the catapult spell.
right.
And the catapult spell will do an extra damage dice of damage. So, for example, if
Yeah.
I cast a level 1 catapult, it's 3d8. If it hits them, because I'm using the arcane firearm, that 3d8 then becomes 4d8.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. So it
Yeah,
does
I
give
know.
you.
Like I said, artificers, new, don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we're gonna figure this out.
So as far as I think the way I would rule this from reading it is like I don't think this is what your intention for it, but like if you did load up an arrow into it, and try to use that arrow would not be
Yeah, no,
magical.
no, 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 no. Yeah, it is not magical, and it does not get an extra damage dice for anybody that's thinking that I'm trying to like f something up here.
Yeah. No, I'm just making sure for my own like if this ever comes into play, you know what I mean?
Right. Just to clarify for you and anybody on the stream, I could put this on a stick, people. I could walk outside, grab a branch off the tree of of the approximate size of like a wand or a rod, because it just gives examples of size. Put these
Uh,
arcane runes on it and shake a stick at somebody. Literally, people, shake a stick at somebody, casting my damaging spell,
uh,
because I still expend a spell slot when I do this, and I get one extra damage dice on it. That's it. That's all I got to
for
do.
sure. So yeah, you're essentially taking some mundane object and turning it into a wand or a staff.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify for my own mental knowledge of how this
Yeah,
works.
You,
So,
you, you, you are not going crazy. You are not losing your mind. It is, in
okay.
fact, something. I mean, technically speaking, how many times has a wizard ended up in jail and they're thinking to themselves, boy, I'd love to break out of this jail, but I don't have an arcane focus to cast any of the spells, even if they don't require material components.
Right.
Artificer standing next to him goes, well, you see that stick in the next cell? Yeah? Give that to me. Okay. Takes a nail, carve, hands it to the wizard. Okay, now we can break out.
Right.
Seriously, I'm sure that's been a thing.
Oh, for sure. It had to. So, okay. So, where we're at right now, you just cast the arcane firearm onto the
Blowgun. Yeah.
blowgun. So, yeah. You used two of the torches in here so far. So, yeah, your meat's cooking along nicely too, and the saber-tooth tiger is still knocked out. So, what do you do?
Well, I actually have a little more to do. I know this seems like a whole lot of nothing, but you know, there is little bits of progress going on here.
For sure. You never know.
So I'm actually going to where is it? Oh yes, the antler that I got.
Okay.
I'm going to conjure my mortar pestle again, and I'm going to turn the antler into antler powder. Or basically, for those that don't know, like I said, antlers are basically keratin. I'm basically making keratin powder. And not carrots as in the red crunchy carrots. Keratin, fingernails.
For sure. Learn that from Ark. Speaking of that game.
Antlers to powder. I don't remember turning antlers into powder on Ark. I mean, there's
No,
a
no.
lot of things in Ark that you can turn into a powder. My favorite is, of course, the sparkle powder, which has many uses.
Yeah, I'm just speaking of character, like learning what character.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That is in fact one of the ingredients. Yeah. It's like carotene was like the oh
it's like
shoot, what is it?
it's like you can make some armor and stuff out of it. I think.
No, you're thinking of chitin.
Yeah, there's
Chitin
chin.
is what you make the armor out of.
I think keratin could. There was something you could use. Oh, it might have been gunpowder. We could use keratin or chitin.
Gunpowder, yeah,
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 that's right.
because it was like flint, carotene, and stone, and you turn that into gunpowder, I
Yeah,
believe.
that's right. I was trying to
Of
think of
course,
what
that is
it
Arc, people. That is Arc. We're not going to use Arc logic in here.
was. Right.
I mean, not unless Muff really wants to, but that could get interesting. I mean,
Hey,
like, what are we? What?
that's an easy way out. If I ever need to fall back on that.
Hey, I mean, if that's the way you want to go, sure. I'll pull up some Arc recipes right now. We're gonna see where we end up.
I don't know how a lot of these recipes work, so we're just gonna wing it.
All right, so the antler is probably about a pound worth heavy, so I'll just say a pound of carotene,
Okay.
powdered carotene, just to make it easy for us.
So you are grinding that one up as well.
Yes.
Okay. You got about 3 pounds total.
3 pounds out of a. Was it one antler or 2.5 antlers?
Oh no, just the one. I was saying you had the 2 pounds from earlier as well.
Oh
The
no
three
no,
pounds.
bone powder and antler are
Okay,
different.
different things. Okay, so you got a
Yeah,
keratin powder.
calcium versus carotene. I'm not mixing those.
Gotcha. Okay, so do you have a container for that one that you're gonna put
Shit, I don't.
that in?
Okay. I have a solution.
Okay.
I take a bit of the wood I have. I pull out the box that I put the bone powder in, and then I put a divider in the box, and now I have room for the bone powder and the carotene.
Okay. Okay, that'll work.
Wow, and I can't spell carotene to save my life apparently because the spell check is losing its mind. Close enough. I'm just going to call it what it is. I'm just going to say it's carotene powder because I can't spell to save my life.
I think it's Keratin. I'm not positive.
I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to look up fucking arc keratin just because I know that spelling will work.
I know it's got a K in there somewhere.
Keratin. Yes? Keratin?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah. What was my spelling? Oh, I used a C. That's why.
Yeah. I was about to say, I know there's a K in there somewhere.
Keratin powder. Okay. We're good. We're good. Keratin powder.
Alrighty.
Super. Okie dokie. I am happy. Oh, wait. Hold on. I forgot I've got bug parts. Okay, so I'm going to take the bug parts, because I almost forgot about those.
Chitin portion.
The chitin, yes,
Yes,
because
yes.
chitin is good.
Yes.
Chitin is, it's like fingernails, but it's a kissing cousin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the keratin and chitin are pretty close. That's how I separated two. I knew the chitin had a C, the keratin had a K. That's how, how my brain
Yeah.
works.
So anyway, I'm going to regret this decision. I'm going to scrape off any of the spider meat that I got from any of the spider parts, and I'm actually going to put that in the other half of my um, mess kit pan,
Okay, that's how you
and
get
I'm
a.
going to put that.
That's how you get about a good handful of meat left
Okay, I don't know if anybody's going to want that, but
on. You never know.
mystery
Well,
meat, you know.
yeah.
World of Warcraft had a lot of fun naming things. One of the things they named was a special meat that you could find off critters that they had no particular name for other than mystery meat.
Ah,
So I'm going to call it mystery meat. And it's going in with the rest of the meat, not next to, because I don't want to like accidentally poison into that meat that I just been so carefully,
right.
taken care of. I'm just going to set that off to the side.
So you
Uh,
are making a spider pie.
no, no, there is no spider pie.
I'm just kidding.
Ooh, spider pie. Ugh.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to talk Kirsty into that one.
I have a new pie for you to try. What's it called? Mystery pie. What's it made out of? Mystery meat. No, seriously, what's it made out of? No, I ain't touching it.
Nope, not after the first pie incident.
But I made it. It's made with love. It's also made with mystery in there. I ain't touching it.
She'll be like, "And children."
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, no. I'm gonna attempt to scrape clean as much of the spider parts as I can, and I'm actually going to grind that down too.
Okay. In a few minutes, grinding that down as well with your Mister Mortar and Pestle.
That thing's getting a workout today.
Oh yeah, that's a good tool there to have in any game, really.
I mean, a mill would work a lot better because that's wind and weight doing its job versus me. But
It's not portable though.
it is not. It really isn't. I mean, you can make a semi-portable version, but it just wouldn't work the same.
Right.
I don't care what kind of conjuration spells you have. Ah, yes, I cast summon mill. What?
That would be interesting. Turn this tower into a mill.
I'm already fascinated by the fact that it's lightning. I literally have a source of electricity if I wanted to like invent a light bulb right now.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have proficiency in glassblower tools. Though I think as an artificer, I have, what is it, half proficiency in any tool I use, I think?
That's cool.
Yeah, artificers, give them a tool, they can use it. It's fine. So, out of all the spider parts, about how much chitin did I grind down? Sorry, I had to like brain stutter that one for a moment.
You're good. So, like I was saying, they did get kind of splattered to bits by the firearms, although you did get some pretty hefty chunks. I'd say you probably got uh, maybe 2.5 pounds
Okay.
of gin powder.
Oh, hey, look at that. I spelled it right in the first try. I am both impressed with myself and with the spell check. It knows what chitin is.
All right.
That is impressive. I'm sorry. That is definitely impressive.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wouldn't have known how to
And
do
I'm
that.
pretty sure that I can use the acid in combination with some of these ingredients and come up with some really interesting chemicals, but we're going to do that later.
Yeah, for sure. So you still have a pretty good portion of the day left. Is there something else you were going to try to get done today?
Oh, dear. Really? Only half a day? I've done a lot. I mean, I've done a lot.
Yeah. You've kind of been pretty efficient in speeding up the processes, though.
You know, you give my character some time, and he'll get stuff done.
For sure.
I mean, I hate to make the joke about Warforged efficiency, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think, for the sake of argument and anything else that comes along, my character would probably spend the rest of the day tinkering with various other odds, ends, and ideas. Uh, Continuing to finish curing the meat. I don't know how much cured meat I'd get. I'm going to write that down as soon as you figure it out.
Okay.
And
I can go ahead and tell you the meat if you want to write that down real quick.
sure, I'll add it to my inventory.
Okay, so you get one very nicely cooked rib cage.
Oh, I was just going to say direwolf meat pounds of and call it good.
Okay, that'll work. Do you want to do it in like poundage or anything like that, or just?
Yeah, let's just do it in a poundage. Call it. I mean, make it easy on both of us. I mean, sitting here going rib cage, leg, other leg,
Yeah.
haunch. What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
That's gonna get tiresome.
I separated it into 3 just in case for some flavor purposes, but you get say 15 pounds of cooked meat.
That's enough for a couple of days for a hungry tiger. That works.
For sure. Yeah, I was gonna say you got a good rib cage out of it, a few nice steak cuts, and some just overall like chops from the rest of the body parts.
Okay. Good. Very good. I'm very happy about this. All right. I am going to do something a little odd with the rest of my day, other than the curing and the tinkering. When the wood from the cart has dried enough, I'm actually going to cobble together a couple of pieces with the wheels and my magnets, and I'm going to salvage the torch from this room.
Okay.
And divide the wire into 2 pieces.
Okay.
When I'm done, a wire, each wire half is going to go onto each of the other magnets, along with probably about 10 feet of rope of my rope, which is actually going to span between the two wheels.
Okay. So I'd say a torch would probably have about maybe 5 feet of wire to it. So
Yeah, I don't need a whole lot, and this is not something that's going to move.
Okay.
This is something that's going to be like just here.
Okay. Just for your
So-
purposes to track what you're doing. So about 2.5.
Yeah. So, basically what's going to happen is that I'm going to have the magnets placed between the 2 wheels. So imagine a bicycle turned upside down, and imagine the 2 wheels of the bicycle like very, very close to almost next to each other.
Okay.
And then you take the magnets and you place them really, really close to both these wheels. Now, most people that don't know this, a lot of wagon wheels actually have a metal plate that goes along the outside edge to help protect the wheel as well as to make it last longer.
Yep.
So that in combination with how I've placed the wheels and the magnets and the wires, when I spin the wheels, do you know what happens?
Making a sort of perpetual motion machine.
I am making a rudimentary electrical generator.
Okay. Yeah, that could do that.
I will add that to my notes, by the way, that I have made a... And that will take the rest of the day, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that will that's going to be pretty big though. I will tell you, like, it's not going to be super
Well, I mean,
portable.
considering it's like 2 wagon wheels, the wheels themselves are probably about as big as the basin if you're looking at the basin on the screen.
Yeah.
So you stick that standing up, and let's just say it's against the whole shebang. Let's just say that's a wheel, magnet, and there's the board. the whole shebang could probably fit right there.
Yeah.
And that's too big to just move casually, but that is definitely something that he's just set up.
So I'm gonna put a.
Oh, here, let me remove my little bits then.
I'll throw this onto the pile of wood. That was the rest of the Art of Horrors.
Oh God, the poor listeners of this poor stream are going to be like, why? Why? Welcome to this edition of Ancient Home Improvement. What?
Hosted by Tim Allen.
Tim Edgar Allen.
Oh.
The third. Sir Edgar Allen. Wait, what? That's right. Back in D&D times, he was knighted. What? By who?
So where are you placing this little electric generator you got going on?
Oh, down here. I realize technically next to water is a bad idea, but seeing as I've taken the torches out of, like, you know, over here, I don't really see much of a place else to put it. Well, no, I guess I could technically move a torch, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Or actually, no, I have my own torches. What am I doing? I'm an idiot. I will take two of my, I'm an idiot, own torches, and I will put them here, and I will set up the said device here.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and...
Since my character cannot see what I'm doing, and I just fucking wrote over everything and can't see what I've done now, I have to go erase that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let's put those torches there for... I actually might be able to get it. Alright.
Now, the purpose of this electrical generator, I don't quite have a function for just yet, but I will. Now that I've stuck it in a room away from Mr. Kitty, he won't accidentally electrocute himself. Well, I mean, he can't accidentally electrocute himself because that would require turning the wheels to start it up, and that's not likely to happen.
For sure.
All right. I am industrious and then some, I know.
There's that.
Alrighty. I am happy. That's a day. That's a thing. That happened.
Alright.
About every other hour for the rest of the day, I would go outside and ritually cast Skywrite to basically write RC and then an arrow for here to let the other people know that I'm here.
Okay.
That way, in case the owner, who has not seen my note, will see that and know where I am.
Okay. So that's a spell, correct? So is that
Yes.
a leveled spell or is that just a can?
Skywrite is a second level transmutation ritual spell.
Okay.
One action, sight, verbal semantic, concentration 1 hour.
Okay. So you just basically do this for the rest of the day, essentially, and
Yeah, basically, whenever I'm not working on my little, primitive electrical generator, I've gone up to cast that. I'm basically, for all intents and purposes, setting up a smoke signal, letting the rest of the party know where I am.
Gotcha. So
I realize I technically just met them, but they said we were friends, so...
Oh, yeah, you're good. I was going to say, so this is meta, but
this whole day the party has been spent completely on the other side, so
I
they
mean, a
wouldn't have seen
skywrite
that.
message in the sky, can be seen from miles away. Unless
They're
they're
quite a ways away. I don't know if
okay.
I don't know if you caught this stream, but they're quite a ways away right now. So RC doesn't know that though, so this does make sense.
No, yeah.
uh, so with that, at the end of the day, did you want to take a long rest?
Yes.
Okay.
I am missing hit points. I am missing spell slots. I'm missing everything.
Okay. And did you want to go ahead and just call it right there, or did you want to push on a little bit
Sure,
more?
sure.
Okay. So yeah, you
I
can.
mean, this does bring our timelines back into order, and depending on what the party does at the beginning of next session, could determine whether or not they find me right away, or if they find me a little later. And should need be, if we have to do another like little mini session to like catch me up again, should they not come find me or come get me right away, then it's fine.
Gotcha. Are you going to be able
Like
to
I said,
play this Wednesday?
yes.
Okay.
I do have Wednesday off. I'm actually off Monday and I'm off Wednesday, so I do work the next day, which means I can't stay up late. But you guys don't play late anyway.
Yeah, we have to end it. I try to end around 10. Like last time we played till 11. So either way, I mean that's my time, so that would be actually 9 o'clock at the latest at your. Uh, so yeah, if that's the case, then we'll just see you next Wednesday, and hopefully the party comes get you, and then we'll pick it up from there. So
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you real quick before you go about the. I know you're trying to tame this tiger.
Right.
So I know you've spent 2 days so far here. By the rule we talked about that I kind of whipped
Right.
up.
So basically, anytime that I'm like, crossing the room or walking around, I would have stopped to like pet it a little bit.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm letting it getting used to my smell. I'm letting it getting used to my presence, and I'm petting it, letting it get used to just me in general.
So I know there was a note in there that said you needed a harness or a mount, but I'm letting that ride because you're kind of in its home. So like it's uh it's not going anywhere.
To use an ARC term, I am attempting a passive tame, not a hard tame.
Right. So I will say though, I don't think RC knows this yet, but he does belong to somebody, so that's going to be something you have to work out in the future, game wise.
Right.
But yeah, he's definitely friendly towards you right now.
Yeah.
You've almost completely uh, finished up the second step of the taming process. So, but yeah, other than that, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that real quick, and
No
then
worries.
we'll see you next Wednesday then.
Hey, when it normally takes 6 people on the low side average to fight Strahd, and we are maybe 4 people, we're light. We are
Yeah.
very light. Either we need to come up with some bigger, better guns and other things, which I have a plan for, by the way. I plan on like bigger, better guns. One of my plans is to actually melt down that cage and make myself a bigger gun.
Yeah,
Because
and
I'm sorry, a pistol is not gonna bother Strahd. Strahd's gonna look at the pistol and go, "Huh."
yeah, for sure. And the party will have some information that will, I don't know if you watched the last session, but they'll get you up to speed on some things you guys might be able to do well. So
I actually have not watched the last session because that would be my character not stuff he wouldn't know, and I've
yeah,
been attempting to like, you know, I mean, not that I have any kind of bad habit of meditating. It's just as somebody who also has been a dungeon master and has dealt a lot with other dungeon masters, I don't want to call it necessarily a bad habit, but I like to try and help the dungeon master out by trying to further the storyline by saying, okay, I do this just to help make things go faster. Now, there are certain things that I do that, some people look at me and go, Zard, why'd you do that? That's stupid. And I'm going, I really wanted to.
yeah. No, I mean I appreciate it. Like it's it would make sense now if you want to go back and watch it. That way, if you want to, you don't have to, but like the party will catch you up on what they've learned. But I assume they're going to meet up with you in this next session. So just to help you understand the information, feel free to check that out now since we've covered that day gap.
I think it'd be a really interesting like party interaction to just let that happen. Also to give me a chance to actually use my voice modder, which I've barely gotten a chance to use. But then again, that's my own fault. It's my own
For
fault.
sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, that's totally cool with me too. I mean, however you want to play it. But yeah. So if do you have anything else, or do you want to call it there? And
I think I've kept you up late enough, and I have enjoyed the chance to play Mad Scientist.
oh yeah, this has definitely been an interesting session. I've never run anything like that before, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of improvising so far. So.
I mean, a wizard would not have been so reckless as to run around like this. A fighter wouldn't have done even half the shit that I have done, and you know, if I was some like kobold inventor, I would have done a lot worse. I would have been sitting there with like spider legs strapped to a pole, trying to like tickle people. I don't know. Don't even get me started. But the point is that one of the reasons I like Dungeons and Dragons so much is that it's not like art. It's not rigid. It's not limited. It's not a video game. It's not scripted. It's not stuck.
Exactly.
You have the option of a wide range of a multitude of color, the whole rainbow of possibilities.
Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Yep, as long as your imagination allows it and the dungeon master approves,
yeah,
you never know what you could do.
for sure. So, all right, man. Well, I'll catch you Wednesday. We'll pick it up from there.
Cool.
All right, man.
And as always, to the kitties.
Stay out of trouble, or I'll come for you.
yeah, for sure. It's totally been enjoying your presence so far. It's you feeding them and watering them for sure. So, all right. We'll catch you.
Oh
Next...
no, kitties, as in the streamers that are watching it. Yeah, you.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Kitties with KIDDY. Gotcha.
Yeah, not kitty. Kitties.
yeah, gotcha. All right. Well, we'll see you Wednesday then.
Alrighty, man. Thank you very much.
All right. Yep. Later.